It's Monday, January 19th. Troubles at OC Transpo continue. Fewer buses are out on the roads, and over 250 weekday trips have been canceled.
A piece of debris falls from the Bronson Bridge. The city and NCC say it's safe and canal skating will continue.
Troy up ahead for Cobb to the Bricket. Moves it and shoots it.
An overtime loss for the Ottawa Senators and James Reimer's debut. Your Morning Ottawa starts right now.
Good Monday morning. I'm Rosie Edden.
I'm Will Aiello.
And I'm Melissa Lamb.
Tough little stretch for the Senators after maybe we thought they were on a little bit of a two-game win streak. Unfortunately, have lost the last two. We'll get some more details on that coming up, but we're going to start with our local bus fleet.
As OC Transpo deals with an aging bus fleet and maintenance issues, the transit service is now putting fewer buses on the roads. OC Transpo says there are now 20 fewer buses on the roads, which has resulted in the cancellation of 255 weekday trips on top of any usual issues. One Ottawa councillor says a plan is coming to help riders have a more consistent and reliable schedule, but people should be prepared to see those changes drag on into the spring or summer.
It's highly unlikely that we can throw a bunch of money at the problem and fix it within, a few weeks. We really need those zero-emission buses to begin arriving much more quickly in the city, and that's something that we just have to wait for.
OC Transpo is expecting 110 new buses by the end of March and 234 in total by the end of the year.
Well, skating was limited at a small section of the Rideau Canal Skateway yesterday as reports came in that a piece of concrete fell from the Bronson Bridge. The Director of Infrastructure Services tells CTV News that the bridge is safe and there are no concerns regarding its integrity. The section of the skateway is fenced off out of an abundance of caution. A contractor will be on site this morning to prevent any further issues. City road crews are picking up all the snow this morning. Efforts took place overnight and will continue till about 7 o'clock today. The city says parking permit holders are not exempt from snow removal operations and will result in a ticket. Vehicles in prohibited areas will be towed to a nearby street.
2 people have been taken to hospital after Ottawa fire crews responded to a low-rise apartment fire in Hintonburg. Multiple 911 calls came in just after 6 o'clock yesterday evening for reports of flames coming from a window of a building on Armstrong Street. Once on scene, the firefighters rescued 1 person from the building. Ottawa paramedics say they transported 1 man to hospital in critical condition, and about an hour later, they transported another man in stable condition. The cause of the fire is under investigation.
As Ottawa's population grows, so does the need for housing. A developer is planning to build a 28-story high-rise just on the edge of downtown that overlooks the Breton Flats.
It's a big building, and it's the configuration of it is what excited me the most because it's really unusual and it'll stand out, right on the edge of the entrance to the downtown core. It oversees the library, the new home of the Senators, and it's a great location.
The plan calls for 326 residential units and 94 underground parking spaces. It will be next to an existing heritage building, the Alexander Fleck House, which the developer says will be preserved. Area residents are mixed on the development. Well, a little shake-up to the makeup of the Ottawa Charge. The team completed a 6-player trade with Vancouver, acquiring 3 former champions. The Charge acquired forwards Michaela Cava and Brooke McKeague and defender Emma Greco from the Golden Eyes in exchange for Manon McMahon, Anna Meixner, and Anna Shahina. The 3 players acquired by Ottawa all won the inaugural Walter Cup title as members of the Minnesota Frost.
The Senators were on the road Sunday taking on Detroit, and they made it to overtime for the 2nd game in a row, but it ended in the Red Wings' favor.
Troy up ahead for Cobb to the Bricket. Moves it and shoots it.
Okay, so a little deja vu for the Sens, falling in the first 30 seconds of overtime for the 2nd game in a row. Detroit skates away with the 4-3 overtime win. Sunday's game, also the debut for 37-year-old James Reimer, in the net with 30 saves on 34 shots. Next up is a game with Columbus on Tuesday.
The rumors that season 2 of Crave's hit series Heated Rivalry will be set in Ottawa. The Ottawa Senators saw an opportunity to have some fun and do some good for the community.
So these photos were taken at Saturday night Sens game at the Sens store in the CTC. The Ottawa Senators Hockey Club had some Shane Hollander and Ilya Rozanov jerseys, two of the main characters from the series, printed up before the game.
What a good idea. All proceeds from Rozanov and Hollander jerseys are going to Ottawa Pride Hockey. They sold out before the end of the first period, and I am not surprised.
Wow, absolutely. So for those who haven't seen it, in season 1, it ends, so we don't know what happens, but there's talk that Rozanov will try and get a deal with Ottawa. But it's not the Ottawa Senators. I forget what it is, but it's just the Ottawa team.
So he can be closer, to Hollander, who's in Montreal.
Who plays for the Montreal Metros.
I watched it because of you.
Okay.
Loved it.
Good.
Loved it. Loved it. Loved it.
So good, right?
Absolutely loved it.
It's nice
Melissa.
that the players based in Ottawa too makes it a little bit more homey, and then with the takeoff of the show, bring it back home. Love that the Sens are getting involved in that too.
And in the show, Shane Hollander is from Ottawa, and I know Ottawa Tourism have had some fun with this. Like a lot of Ottawa places are now, picking up on it, which is great to see.
Pick up Ottawa.
Yeah.
Love it.
Go.
Absolutely. Our forecast today, we could see some snow squalls later on this afternoon. There's a risk of snow squalls later on today. Right now in our forecast, we're seeing some light snow, so we started to see some flurries, and that's what we will see kind of off and on throughout the day ahead. Some light snow possible this morning right through into your overnight tonight. We could see 2 up to 4 centimeters, so not a lot of snow, but we will definitely see some accumulation. Now, later on this afternoon, wind speeds are expected to pick up, so we could see some snow squalls from noon till about 5 p.m. later on this afternoon. We will continue to see those flurries in through your overnight, clearing up into the overnight early tomorrow morning, and then some sunshine on the way as we head into Tuesday, but then Wednesday, Thursday is another couple of days that we could see colder temperatures and again a few scattered flurries in the forecast. Temperatures right now, -8 feels closer to -19 this hour, so it's a little bit of a cold start to your day. -10 in Pembroke, -7 in Trenton, same with in Brockville, -8 currently over Montreal. So if you're wondering what to wear today, of course you need all the winter gear. Temperatures won't warm up too much from where we're sitting right now. -6 is your daytime high for today. Bit of a colder day. We'll still feel closer to -16 this afternoon with that wind chill. Daytime highs throughout the region, -8 in Pembroke, -7 in Bancroft, as well as in Kemptville for today. -8 for the Valley, -7 is your daytime high over in Mont-Tremblant. So, of course, today we're expecting those snow squalls from noon hour till about 5, and that's because we could see stronger winds gusting out of the southwest, 20 up to 40 kilometers an hour today. Overnight tonight, dropping to -18, 2 to 4 centimeters of snow in the forecast for us. Sunshine for tomorrow and a high of -11, so a colder couple days in the forecast for us. -8 for Wednesday. Wednesday and through Friday, we could see a few scattered flurries in the forecast, but then sunshine and cold in through the weekend. On your roads this morning, here's a live look at your time saver traffic. We have no issues east to west. Again, just seeing some light snow to start your day off, so keep that in mind if you are heading out to work this hour. But the good news is we are collision free. Now let's check out your TSN must-see moment.
Jermaine Franklin in the SportsCenter newsroom with your must-see moment from Sunday. And for it, we head to Chicago. NFC divisional playoff Rams leading the Bears with less than 30 seconds to go, and it's 4th down. Caleb Williams fleeing the rush, unloads a shot to the end zone, and it's caught by Cole Kmet, officially a 14-yard touchdown, but Williams throws it from 40 yards. An unreal play. Unfortunately for the Bears, they do go on to lose in overtime. However, Williams and Kmet take home the must-see moment from Sunday. And tonight on TSN, we've got more football. The College Football Playoff National Championship, Miami facing Indiana. Coverage begins at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 Pacific. That's all for now from the SportsCenter newsroom. Have a great day.
One of the wildest plays that many were saying that they've ever seen from the Chicago Bears. Unfortunately, though, that wasn't enough, and they did lose in overtime. Well, let's take a peek from our Skycam on George Street. Roads a little bit slick this morning. Temperatures have definitely fallen compared to what we saw with those milder temperatures last week. So bundle up this morning, and Melissa letting us know snow squalls, the potential for the afternoon, could be affecting our commute home from work. But happy Monday, everybody. We'll be right back.
The most important part of any journey is to arrive safely. Hi, I'm Patricia Bowl.
And I'm Stefan Keys from CTV. Distracted or impaired driving can have devastating consequences.
Hey,
Hey, it's Ashley.
And Gord from Ottawa's Pure Country 94.
Always plan for a designated driver, and please keep your phone down.
Everyone can help keep communities safe.
Drive safe. Brought to you by the Ottawa Safety Council. For more information on road safety programs and services, visit ottawasafetycouncil.ca.
The National Capital Region is jam-packed with incredible experiences you don't want to miss. Hey, I'm Sanaya Taylor, your iHeartRadio Weekender, powered by Barrhaven Ford. Get the inside scoop on all the biggest and best events every Thursday, Friday, and Saturday on CTV, Move 100, Pure Country 94, TSN 1200, and News Talk 580 CFRA. iHeartRadio Weekenders is powered by Barrhaven Ford, Ottawa's newest and largest Ford dealership, and Ontario's #1 Ford EV dealer.
What makes your community special? Join us next week for Your Neighborhood, showcasing all the people and places that help make the National Capital Region shine.
Your Neighborhood on CTV Your Morning Ottawa. Brought to you in part by the Clemo. Choose the Clemo and start living your life your way.
Welcome back. Here are the big stories we are following today on Your Morning Ottawa. Troubles continue at OC Transpo. The agency is now putting fewer buses on the roads due to an aging bus fleet and maintenance issues. One councillor says the issues could last a while. A new proposed high-rise near Le Breton Flats is drawing mixed reviews from nearby residents. The proposal would see a 28-story building right at the entrance to downtown. You may see some additional road crews out early this morning. Snow clearing operations are underway, helping to clear out from the biggest snowstorm of the season so far. Now, let's check out the forecast.
Yeah, and lots of work to be done, especially over the last week or so with all that snow continuing to fall. And temperatures still feeling on the cooler side to start our Monday morning. Still maybe seeing some precipitation of flurries this morning. Temperatures will not be, I would say, very warm this afternoon. Then we could see some hazardous driving conditions, even not the nicest conditions to be outside, as the risk of some snow squalls starts to take place. That's in the greater Ottawa area and continuing as we go down the 417. So many areas impacted by the potential of those snow squalls this afternoon. Flurries potentially continuing on. So Mother Nature letting us know that it is snowfall season with no signs of letting up over the next couple of days. Now let's take a look at the roads at this hour on your Monday morning commute. Everything looking very nice. The highways were definitely clear this morning. Some side streets still have some work to do. And as you just heard, the snowplows are out removing a lot of that snowfall till 7 o'clock this morning. So you could still see about some parking spaces being impacted. Even if you do have a permit, just know that you could be towed around the corner if you are in the way of those plows.
As Ottawa's population grows, so does the need for housing. A developer is planning to build a 28-story high-rise just on the edge of downtown, overlooking Le Breton Flats. CTV's Peter Sperling has the details.
Ottawa is growing taller.
There's obviously a lot of growth, a lot of building going on around here.
Tom Volo recently moved to the city to the Centertown West neighborhood, where residents are now hearing details of a proposed 28-story building at Bronson and Laurier.
There's already a lot of tall buildings in this area. Yeah. 28 stories might be a bit more than a lot of what you'd see on the west side of Bronson.
The City of Ottawa has received an official plan and zoning bylaw amendment application to allow the high-rise.
It's a great location. That's why we're there.
The plan calls for 326 residential units and 94 underground parking spaces.
It's a big building, and it's the configuration of it is what excited me the most, because it's really unusual and it'll stand out, right on the edge of the entrance to the downtown core.
The location right on the edge of the escarpment next to Le Breton Flats.
Oversees the library, the new home of the senators, and it's a great location.
And adjacent to an existing heritage building, the Alexander Fleck House, which the developer says will be preserved.
We engaged architectural companies to give us advice on how to do the preservation. It'll need quite a bit of work.
That is probably my favorite part of the idea.
Area residents mixed on the development.
I think that there's a benefit to people actually living in downtown Ottawa. I don't feel great about there being large construction projects happening all over downtown, especially if they're going to be disrupting
traffic.
I think 28 stories is very high as well for being sitting up on a hill.
If they're affordable, then sure.
I'm not sure that's what people are really looking for. I think they're more looking for houses rather than apartments.
The area councillor says the city is planning to do a public consultation before the plan goes to committee in March. Peter Sperling, CTV News.
I mean, I think it's obviously with the Breton Flats being in that area, the potential arena taking, who knows how long it's actually going to take for that building to get done, with the new library going there as well. I think that those are going to be a hot commodity. I know it's going to cause, obviously, some traffic and some detours downtown.
Yeah, and change can be difficult for folks who are used to one way, and then you see that big billboard out there going, oh, a new building is coming. Obviously, it does promote some concern. 28 stories would be the tallest in that area, but as you said, Le Breton Flats is going to start to see some growth. There's just no doubt about it. When the arena will come, don't know. But the library, which I'm really excited for, is a beautiful building. That's not 28 stories, of course, but that will eventually open up. I think it's now going to be next year, but that area is changing quite quickly.
Yeah, we'll just kind of wait and see, but at least it is growth for the area itself. Well, President Donald Trump is privately ramping up his focus on another target in the Western Hemisphere, increasingly complaining to aides in recent weeks about Canada's vulnerability to U.S. adversaries in the Arctic. Let's bring in Bill Carroll from the Morning Rush on News Talk 580 CFRA. So, Bill, with Greenland, with everything going on, there's been a hot topic. What are your thoughts when you have these little conversations with the president?
Yeah, you know, it seems like our prime minister has been trying to stay off Donald Trump's radar, but it hasn't worked because according to the BBC and a few other reports out there this morning, as you just said, he started thinking about Canada again, and he is obsessed with Canada's vulnerability in the Arctic, vulnerability to China, vulnerability to Russia, and he thinks we don't spend enough money on defense. Hard to disagree with him on that point. The problem is, with Greenland, we know what can happen next when he becomes obsessed about a country and its vulnerability to China or Russia. He starts to talk about taking them over by force or otherwise. So, you know, it's all very concerning. Meanwhile, our prime minister is still traveling, and he plans to travel again to an economic conference. And he just never seems like he's at home. And I really think Canadians need to see our prime minister much more often these days. And we need to know what his plan is for Canada. Where is all of this headed? What are we going to do about this? Will we ever have a trade deal? Will we have meetings about this? Nice to see our prime minister is standing up for Greenland. Nice to see the Europeans are doing it. And I do wonder, you know, if they just, maybe if Europe and NATO members especially had said no to the 51st state more firmly a year ago, maybe they wouldn't be having the Greenland conversation right now. Hard to know with Donald Trump, but you know, they didn't stand up much for Canada, but now they're standing up for Greenland. I guess that's something. So, you know, as a Canadian, I think it's very worrisome to see what's going on with the United States. And a year later, can you believe it's only been a year of this drama? I don't know how, as Canadians, we can take this for 3 more years.
I know, Bill, and concerning on multiple fronts, because with Donald Trump, there's always a big question mark on every day where you never know what to expect, especially with this situation. But as always,
well, he's saying if you stand up for Greenland, you're going to face 10% more tariffs. Do we want to see Canada get into that same situation? Obviously, I don't think we do. So,
no,
you know, and what's going to happen is he starts to realize, he's been pretty quiet about it as well. Our new deal with China, he's so concerned about, and now we've cut a new deal with China. By the way, I just want to mention we have the premier on the show this morning after the 8:30 news to talk about the China deal and what it could do to our auto sector here in Ontario. So I'll be looking forward to seeing what his take on all of this is.
Yeah, definitely, Bill, and we'll check in with you after on what your thoughts on from that conversation. But as always, have a wonderful Monday.
You guys have a good day.
And remember, you can listen to the Morning Rush with Bill Carroll, News Talk 580 CFRA. That's weekdays from 6 till 10 a.m. And coming up next on Your Morning Ottawa, a new study has found that Canadians are scaling back the spending for this brand new year. We'll hear from TD Bank about the report and where Canadians are making the cuts. Taking a peek outside through our sky cam on George Street. Still a little cool this morning, and snowfall continues throughout the day. It is 6:22 on your Monday.
Today on Your Morning Ottawa, we are asking for your comments on what is your hidden talent? Let us know your thoughts. Email us at yourmorningottawa@ctv.ca. Hidden talents.
Yes. I said mine was baking. So I like to bake a lot of cakes, and I've baked some for my kids and my friends and my family, and so I think that that's my hidden talent.
And I would say also decorating them.
Decorating,
because you
yes.
are, it's incredible. It's something to watch somebody so good at something. It's like competency porn. It's like sitting there and watching you make the perfect cupcake icing.
Yeah.
There's a talent to that.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, really, absolutely. So baking and, you know, the decorations.
A bulldozer for my son once, a
Come
unicorn
on.
cake for my nieces. I made a Minnie Mouse last year for my daughter, so a bunch of just little fun ones.
And it's
Very
an extra,
cool.
extra talent when you compare it to my craft work, which is just on the very low grade. So that it's not this hidden talent, it's this perfection that you have, which we've seen so far on the show.
Well, thank you.
I love that. I love that. Okay, so for me, I can write with my left or right hand. Either one. Because I'm actually a natural lefty, but my mother made me write with my right hand. And then I finally just went, I doodle with my left, and I can't even, I throw with my left hand. Like naturally, if you throw me a ball, I'll catch it and I'll throw it with the left. But if you force me, I can do it with my right. But I'm both. I'm ambidextrous. There you go.
Love that.
What about you?
I would probably say maybe a hidden talent that some people know, but a piano player.
Yeah.
That was almost a career before stepping into this one, and there's just something about playing the piano that still comes to me more than anything in this world.
That is the best. My mom tried to put me in piano lessons. I was like, it's hopeless. It's hopeless. That is amazing. That is so cool.
That's like me with
y'all.
crafting.
We'll be hearing from you later in the show. We're asking, what is your hidden talent? Send us your comments at yourmorningottawa@ctv.ca.
And coming up on CTV Your Morning Ottawa, the Prime Minister has struck a deal in China. An expert weighs in on the move and the fallout. We'll be right back.
Good morning, 6:30 on the nose. Come on in. I'm Rosie Edda.
Happy Monday, everyone. I'm Will Aiello.
And I'm Melissa Lamb.
We're going to be talking about a little bit of snow that just doesn't want to seem to let up here, Melissa.
It's true. We're at the point where, like, where are we supposed to put snow at this point, right? Like, our snowbanks are so high, and now we have to worry about the little animals eating our tree buds because the snowbanks are up to the branches.
So they get up there.
Yep.
They can just jump on the snowbank and eat our little branches. So we have to be we have to make a little funnel so they can't get in.
The deers love that too on the hedges because then they can get up to a point. So then come springtime, it's just like your hedge is just all bare and then nice at the top. Yeah.
We'll be talking about that in a minute. But first off, we're going to get to today's top stories. Changes are coming to public transit in Ottawa. OC Transpo is dealing with an aging bus fleet and maintenance issues, which has led to a stretch of unreliability, frustrating transit users.
That's ridiculous. Like, it's cold out here. It's real cold. This is not LA.
OC Transpo says it has temporarily canceled 255 regular weekday trips and taken 20 buses off the roads, leaving many passengers waiting in the cold.
What that's resulting in right now is buses that are just not showing up. And that has some really staggering real-world implications for people who rely on transit to get around.
Councillor Jeff Leeper says the plan is to create a more reliable, consistent schedule until the city can add more buses to its fleet, which may not happen until the spring or summer.
Skating was limited at a small section of the Rideau Canal Skateway yesterday as reports came in that a piece of concrete fell from the Bronson Bridge. The Director of Infrastructure Services tells CTV News that the bridge is safe and there are no concerns regarding its integrity. This section of the skateway is fenced off out of an abundance of caution. A contractor will be on site this morning to prevent any further issues. City road crews are picking up all that snowfall this morning. Efforts took place overnight and will continue until 7 o'clock today. The city says parking permit holders are not exempt from snow removal operations, and non-compliance will result in a ticket. Vehicles in prohibited areas will be towed to a nearby street.
2 people have been taken to hospital after Ottawa fire crews responded to a low-rise apartment fire in Hintonburg. Multiple 911 calls came in just after 6 o'clock yesterday evening for reports of flames coming from a window of a building on Armstrong Street. Once on scene, firefighters rescued one person from the building. Ottawa paramedics say they transported one man to hospital in critical condition, and about an hour later, they transported another man in stable condition. The cause of the fire is under investigation.
As Ottawa's population grows, so does the need for housing, and a developer is planning to build a 28-story high-rise just on the edge of downtown overlooking LeBreton Flats.
It's a big building, and it's the configuration of it is what excited me the most because it's really unusual and it'll stand out, right on the edge of the entrance to the downtown core. It oversees the library, the new home of the senators, and it's a great location.
The plan calls for 326 residential units and 94 underground parking spaces. It will be next to an existing heritage building, the Alexander Fleck House, which the developer says will be preserved. Area residents are mixed on the development.
I think 28 stories is very high as well for being sitting up on a hill.
If they're affordable, then sure.
I'm not sure that's what people are really looking for. I think they're more looking for houses rather than apartments.
The area councillor says the city is planning to do a public consultation before the plan goes to committee in March.
Prime Minister Mark Carney says Canada is concerned about the escalation of Donald Trump's threats to take over Greenland.
The security of Greenland. Security is first and foremost for them, but very much falls within the responsibilities of NATO.
Trump has claimed the U.S. needs to control Greenland to keep Russia and China from gaining an advantage in the Arctic. He has also threatened tariffs on European nations who do not support his bid to control Greenland. At least 39 people are dead following a high-speed train crash in Spain. Officials say the cars on a train headed to Madrid last night jumped the tracks, crossing into the path of an incoming train. 400 people were on board both trains. Dozens of people are hurt. Spain's Civil Guard says it's the country's worst rail train crash in more than a decade. An investigation into what happened is now underway.
A little shake-up to the makeup of the Ottawa Charge. The team completed a 6-player trade with Vancouver, acquiring 3 former champions. So the Charge acquired forwards Michaela Cava and Brooke McQuigg, and defender Emma Greco from the Golden Eyes. This is all in exchange for forwards Manon McMahon, Anna Meixner, and Anna Shahina. The 3 players acquired by Ottawa all won the inaugural Walter Cup title as members of the Minnesota Frost.
And the Senators were on the road Sunday taking on Detroit, and they made it to overtime for a second game in a row, but it ended in the Red Wings' favor.
Detroit up ahead for Copp to the Bricket, moves it and shoots.
A little deja vu for the Sens, falling in the first 30 seconds of overtime for the second game in a row. Detroit skates away with the 4-3 overtime win.
Yeah, and Sunday's game was the debut for the 37-year-old James Reimer in net. He had 30 saves on 34 shots. Next up, though, a game versus Columbus tomorrow evening.
So fingers crossed we can get back on the winning ways.
Yeah, definitely. And tough 2 overtime losses here at home against the Canadiens on Saturday after losing that third period lead. Another overtime loss, but hopefully we can turn things around.
Absolutely. Our forecast today, get the shovels ready. It's another day. You're going to need a dig out potentially this afternoon.
We should be used to it at this point, right?
I know, right? It's been a very snowy, cold winter, and that theme continues, especially this week. We're expecting those light flurries early this morning. Already started to see a few scattered flurries so far. Risk of snow squalls, though, into the afternoon. We're expecting some more intense winds, so we could see some snow squalls this week. Colder temperatures. So last week it was a little bit milder. Not this week. We're going to see cold conditions throughout most of the week. So right now, yes, we're seeing some light scattered flurries. Depends on where you're living, if you're seeing some light snow or not. But that's what we kind of will see off and on throughout the day ahead. We could see upwards of 2 to 4 centimeters. So not a lot, but enough that you will need to get the shovels out. And of course, if you park outside, you'll have to dust off the car as well. It will continue to snow and through the overnight. That's when it will start to clear up. So some light flurries into your overnight. Things clearing up, some sunshine back for tomorrow, but then we do have more snow on the way towards the middle and end of the work week. Now, wind speeds today will pick up as well. We're going to see some southwest winds gusting 20 up to 40 kilometers an hour, mainly from noon hour until about 5-6 p.m. That's why we could see some snow squalls as we continue to see some snow and then some gustier winds. mainly from 2 till about 5 p.m. today. So it could definitely impact your commute home later on this evening. Won't impact your drive-in, just some slippery road conditions as we're still seeing some light scattered flurries out there this morning. Temperatures are a little weird today as well. Not overly cold to start off your morning, -8 right now. Does feel closer to -12, -13 with that wind chill, and it's actually going to get a little bit colder later on this afternoon. Even though temperatures will warm up, the wind chill will pick up, so it's going to be -6 today, but feel like -16. So it'll feel slightly colder into your afternoon today. -8 in the valley for today, -6 in Trenton, Kingston, -5. Temperatures will hang out in the Seaway as well as in Montreal for your afternoon. So over the next 7 days, yes, it's a bit of a colder week for us in the forecast for us. -6 is your daytime high again. Today will feel closer to -16. -18 is the overnight low. Now 2 to 4 centimeters of snow is what we're expecting. The sun is back for tomorrow. Beautiful sunny day, but very chilly. -11 is your daytime high. Wednesday and through Friday, we are expecting some scattered flurries. Not so bad temperatures Thursday and through Friday. It will be cold, though, as we head into the weekend, into the minus double digits for your daytime highs.
Weather brought to you by Manotick Place Retirement Community, a community you can call home.
And traffic is still moving well. We aren't seeing any major collisions and no major slowdowns. Just keep in mind we could see some light snow this morning, so roads could be a little bit slick.
Traffic brought to you by Presler Injury Lawyers, 1-800-JUSTICE.
Still to come on Your Morning Ottawa. Today is what is known as Blue Monday, thought by some to be the most depressing day of the year. We hear from a registered psychotherapist on how we can manage our mental health. Here's a live look from our Skycam on George Street. You're watching Your Morning Ottawa. Happy Monday. We'll be right back.
Welcome back, everybody. Here are the big stories that we're following today on Your Morning Ottawa. Troubles continue at OC Transpo. The agency is now putting fewer buses out on the roads due to an aging bus fleet and maintenance issues. One councillor says issues could last a while. A new proposed high-rise near LeBreton Flats is drawing mixed reviews from nearby residents. The proposal would see a 28-story building right at the entrance to downtown. And you may see some additional road crews out early this morning as snow clearing operations continue, helping to clear out from the biggest snowstorm we've seen. And any more snowfall on the way, Melissa, or are we done for now?
Oh, we have more on the way today. As a matter of fact, it's snowing right now in some areas, so we're expecting that light snow to last throughout the day ahead. 2 up to 4 centimeters in the forecast for today. There is a risk of snow squalls later on this afternoon that will impact your drive home, so keep that in mind. -6 is your high. We'll feel closer to -16 later on this afternoon. And through your day tomorrow, -11 is the high. The sunshine is back, so beautiful day as we head into tomorrow, just cold. Wednesday, we could see a few more scattered flurries. On your drive-in this hour, still no major issues east to west. Just keep in mind we are expecting some light snow throughout your morning commute, so roadways could be a little bit slick.
Residents in Ottawa's Alta Vista neighborhood are doing a lot more looking up these days. A murder of crows have taken over the winter skyline, delighting some and frustrating others. CTV's Josh Moreno explains.
Tens of thousands of crows have called the suburbs of Alta Vista home for the past few days.
Even when they've been in my next door neighbors, it hasn't bothered me.
But for Catherine Campbell, it's a refreshing sight.
I always thought they just went over to the general hospital area, but now I see them in the neighborhood and they'll just congregate in a few trees, and it's fascinating.
According to residents, it's not uncommon to see crows roosting nearby this time of year, but it's usually in forests and parks, not on their streets, and not nearly this many.
Late November, December, they start coming in, and they used to congregate all the way over by St. Saint Laurent Boulevard, and then for the last week or two, they've been roosting right here in the trees.
It's beautiful. I'm from the country, so seeing nature, it's nice, and especially cold weather like this, we're all stuck inside. It feels good.
According to Environment Canada, crows roost in winter for warmth and safety, and residential neighborhoods offer tall trees, fewer predators, and easy access to food.
Received quite a lot of videos and some feedback from residents just concerned about finding dead crows or largely the excrement that's being found. We are lucky to have such nature here in the community, and I think most residents feel that way. They're just a bit frustrated by the current situation.
They aren't the only birds that skip migration, but they are some of the loudest and most visible.
It's a love-hate relationship at this point, especially when I saw my car in the morning.
While the birds are a special sight, what they leave behind in the mornings not so much.
It's kind of dangerous with the snowfall coming and covering the bird poop and kids being out to play. It's you know, I don't know how they can get rid of them. Not that I want to get rid of them, but I just want them to move on.
Josh Moreno, CTV News.
Today on Your Morning Ottawa, we asked for your comments on what is your hidden talent. Here's what you had to say.
Brandy says, my talent is being a good friend to anyone who needs one.
Brandy, that's
so
awesome.
sweet. That is. I love that. Chloe says, I have 3 hidden talents. One is I can sound like a boy. My favorite one is that I can do the Vecna curse from Stranger Things. And last but not least, pardon me, I can rap. Not the coolest things, but still fun. I love that, Chloe.
Very fun things, no doubt about it. All right, we're going to be hearing from you a little later on in the show. We can keep this conversation going. What's your hidden talent? Send us your comments at yourmorningottawa@ctv.ca. Here's a live look from our Skycam on George Street. Got a little bit more snow on the way. You're watching Your Morning Ottawa. We'll be right back.
What makes your community special? Join us next week for Your Neighborhood, showcasing all the people and places that help make the National Capital Region shine.
Your Neighborhood on CTV Your Morning Ottawa. Brought to you in part by the Clemo. Choose the Clemo and start living your life your way.
It's time now for your morning fix, and Canadian sweetheart Rachel McAdams is getting her own star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
Why didn't you write me? Why? It wasn't over for me. I waited for you for 7 years.
Oh, such an iconic scene. Originally from St. Thomas, Ontario, the actress is known for her show-stopping performances in classic movies, including The Notebook and Mean Girls, and the Oscar-nominated role in the 2015 Spotlight. This 47-year-old's on-screen career has spanned more than 2 decades. A ceremony honoring McAdams with the star is set for Tuesday.
So good in everything that she does.
Amazing.
Red Eye, Wedding Crashers, she just brings it, and we love a good Canadian artist.
Yes.
And she can go from like thriller, intense to like comedic as well. So she's just so versatile in her skill. So very exciting. And one of the world's most extreme long distance races, the Pole of Cold Winter Marathon, wrapped up in Russia. 50 competitors set off early in the morning from the village of Tomtar, braving the deep freeze of the Omai Canyon area, known as one of the coldest inhabited places on Earth. Oh my goodness.
Good old winter running.
Would you do a winter run? I know you like cold, Will.
Yeah, actually, so I went out this weekend.
Okay.
When I lived in Sudbury, the gym that I went to, the gym owner was really big in trail races and endurance races, marathons. So that's when I picked up winter running, winter trail running. And although it can be really frigid and cold at times, there is something beautiful about running into winter with the peace, the quiet. But it definitely is something you have to train a little bit for, because it's very different. Even your breathing alone is different than when you would run during the spring and summer.
It does look beautiful. I mean, it's picturesque, and that crunching sound of the snow when you're running on the snow, but I don't know if I want to look like an icicle when I finish.
Yeah, that's a little bit more extreme than I've been used to as well.
Like, he can't even undo his jacket. It's so frozen.
Yeah.
Wow, that's intense. Well, Zootopia 2 is hopping to another box office milestone.
Welcome to Partners in Crisis. I'm your therapy animal, Dr. Fuzzbee. Greg, we talked about that. What are we making Merlin? Uncomfortable. Yes.
Disney's hit sequel has earned $1.7 billion globally, overtaking another hit Disney sequel, 2024's Inside Out, which racked in $1.69 billion to stand as Hollywood's highest-grossing animated film in history. Okay, it's really cute. I've seen it with my kids. I love a good movie that my kids are laughing, but I'm also super into as well. It was really cute and really well done.
Oh man, here for the animated features that they just know had a draw-in. Of course, the kids love the animation, right?
Yes.
But then when you realize, then the parents come in and they go, you know what, this is kind of good. I can relate to this.
Yeah.
And so they're like, ka-ching.
Yeah,
because they got you
absolutely.
in there, they got the kids in there. Kids get the little popcorn meal,
That's
and then
right.
you got to get popcorn. It's just all around good fun for the whole family.
Absolutely.
It's a win-win, right? Because it's great for the kids. They can be entertained. You can enjoy yourself, so that it enables you to be like, you know what? We should go to the movie theater and watch this movie because it's for the whole family.
And it's a good one. If you haven't gone with
Yeah.
the kids, it's definitely a good one to go watch.
Okay, so Zootopia 3 to come.
Right, exactly. Hopefully,
4 and
fingers
5 and
crossed.
6.
Yeah, then we'll continue
And
on.
it's one of those ones that they could definitely do more sequels.
Sure.
So
You can add in
you never know.
new animals too, and characters
Why
and
not?
voices. You just keep it going.
They're like little detectives, and they solve crimes and cases. So there's
you
always a
go.
new crime and case to be solved.
Too much fun.
Always.
Coming up in the next hour, a new study has found Canadians are scaling back the spending in 2026. We're going to hear from TD Bank about their report and where Canadians are making cuts. Today is thought by some to be the most depressing day of the year. We hear from a registered psychotherapist on how we can manage our mental health. Prime Minister Mark Carney has wrapped up his visit to Beijing. He signed what he called a landmark deal agreement, and that allows Chinese electric vehicles into the market. We take a closer look at the deal. Here's a live look from our Skycam on George Street. We'll be right back after this.
The most important part of any journey is to arrive safely. Hi, I'm Patricia Bowl.
And I'm Stefan Keys from CTV. Distracted or impaired driving can have devastating consequences.
Hey, it's Ashley.
And Gord from Ottawa's Pure Country 94.
Always plan for a designated driver, and please keep your phone down.
Everyone can help keep communities safe.
Drive safe. Brought to you by the Ottawa Safety Council. For more information on road safety programs and services, visit ottawasafetycouncil.ca.
The National Capital Region is jam-packed with incredible experiences you don't want to miss. Hey, I'm Sanaya Taylor, your iHeartRadio Weekender, powered by Barrhaven Ford. Get the inside scoop on all the biggest and best events every Thursday, Friday, and Saturday on CTV, Move 100, Pure Country 94, TSN 1200, and News Talk 580 CFRA. iHeartRadio Weekenders is powered by Barrhaven Ford, Ottawa's newest and largest Ford dealership, and Ontario's #1 Ford EV dealer.
It's Monday, January 19th. Troubles at OC Transpo continue. Fewer buses are out on the roads, and over 250 weekday trips get canceled.
A piece of debris falls from the Bronson Bridge. The city and NCC say it's safe, and canal skating will continue.
Troy, up ahead for Cobb. To the Bricket. Moves it and shoots.
An overtime loss for the Ottawa Senators in Dame Reimer's debut. Your Morning Ottawa continues right now.
Good morning. Come on in. Thanks so much for starting your day with us. I'm Rosie Edda.
I'm Will Aiello.
And I'm Melissa Lamb.
It's still a little bit cool out there, especially from the mild temperatures that we saw. We've had such big swings.
Yeah.
And the crews have been out clearing some of that snow.
Yeah, and more of it on the way. So just when you think winter is done, it's not. We still have a lot more to come.
All right, we're going to talk about your top stories first off. As OC Transpo deals with an aging bus fleet and maintenance issues, the transit service is now putting fewer buses on the roads. OC Transpo says there are now 20 fewer buses on the roads, which has resulted in the cancellation of 255 weekday trips on top of any usual issues. One Ottawa councillor says a plan is coming to help riders have a more consistent and reliable schedule, but people should be prepared to see those changes drag on into the spring or summer.
It's highly unlikely that we can throw a bunch of money at the problem and fix it within, a few weeks. We really need those zero-emission buses to begin arriving much more quickly in the city, and that's something that we just have to wait for.
OC Transpo is expecting 110 new buses by the end of March and 234 in total by the end of the year.
Skating was limited at a small section of the Rideau Canal Skateway yesterday as reports came in that a piece of concrete fell from the Bronson Bridge. The Director of Infrastructure Services tells CTV News that the bridge is safe and there are no concerns regarding its integrity. This section of the skateway is fenced off out of an abundance of caution. A contractor will be on site this morning to prevent any further issues.
2 people have been taken to hospital after Ottawa fire crews responded to a low-rise apartment fire in Hintonburg. Multiple 911 calls came in just after 6 o'clock yesterday evening for reports of flames coming from a window of a building on Armstrong Fleet. Once on scene, firefighters rescued 1 person from the building. Ottawa paramedics say they transported 1 man to hospital in critical condition, and about an hour later, they transported another man in stable condition. The cause of the fire is under investigation.
As Ottawa's population continues to grow, so does the need for housing. A developer is planning to build a 28-story high-rise just on the edge of downtown that overlooks the Breton Flats.
It's a big building, and it's the configuration of it is what excited me the most, because it's really unusual and it'll stand out, you know, right on the edge of the entrance to the downtown core. It oversees the library, the new home of the senators, and it's a great location.
The plan calls for 326 residential units and 94 underground parking spaces. It is going to be next to an existing heritage building, which is the Alexander Fleck House, which the developer says will be preserved. Area residents are mixed on the development.
I think 28 stories is very high as well for being sitting up on a hill. If they're affordable, then sure.
I'm not sure that's what people are really looking for. I think they're more looking for houses rather than apartments.
The area councillor says the city is planning to do a public consultation before the plan goes to committee in March.
European leaders are now speaking out over U.S. President Donald Trump's plan to impose tariffs on 8 countries if they oppose his takeover of Greenland.
Out of the 8 countries who happen to be in the Arctic, 7 are NATO members, so we're actually quite well prepared to deal with existing and future security challenges in the Arctic. So that's a dual message that we're sending to our friends in the United States of America.
Norway's foreign minister says President Trump's proposed tariffs are unacceptable. Denmark's prime minister took to social media, writing, "Europe won't be blackmailed." President Trump says the tariffs would start at 10% before jumping to 25% in the summer.
A little shakeup to the makeup of the Ottawa Charge. The team completed a 6-player trade with Vancouver, acquiring 3 former champions. This is what it looked like. The Charge acquired forwards Michaela Cava and Brooke McQuigg, and defender Emma Greco from the Golden Eyes. This is all in exchange for forwards Manon McMahon, Anna Meixner, and Anna Shahina. The 3 players acquired by Ottawa all won the inaugural Walter Cup title as members of the Minnesota Frost.
The Senators were on the road Sunday taking on Detroit, and they made it to overtime for the 2nd game in a row.
Detroit up ahead for Kopp to the Bricket, moves it and shoots.
A little deja vu for the Sens, falling in the first 30 seconds of overtime for the 2nd game in a row. Detroit skates away with the 4-3 overtime win. Sunday's game also the debut of 37-year-old James Reimer in net with 30 saves on 34 shots. Next up is a game with Columbus on Tuesday.
Felix Auger-Aliassime's run at the Australian Open came to an early end.
Got him out of shape. And on a 3rd break point, he's found his run.
Tough to see. Aliassime was down 2-1 in his first-round match when leg cramps forced him to withdraw. He was in the 7th seed in Australia, coming off his run to the semifinal in last year's U.S. Open. The other action, Denis Shapovalov and Victor Mboko are through the 2nd round. Tough to see.
Get ready to potentially start seeing ads in your conversations with ChatGPT.
OpenAI announced it's going to start testing advertisements on its popular chatbot.
No surprise here. This comes as the company looks to increase revenue. Critics have raised privacy concerns, but the tech giant says ads won't influence the answers that ChatGPT offers. You knew it was only a matter of time.
Oh,
Everything
yeah.
always gets the advertising
So
in
true.
there. First
Absolutely.
our streaming services, and now ChatGPT's jumping on board too.
Absolutely. We do have your weather picture of the day today, and this was sent to us from Tracy. It's the Ottawa River in Arnprior on a snowy day with an ice shack peeking through the trees.
Yeah, I
You can
see it
the
there.
little ice
No-
shack in the middle.
No crows out there.
No crows.
Weather Picture, brought to you by Box Me Up. Moving, staging, renovating, just box me up.
We want to hear from you. Send your weather pictures to us at weathershots@ctv.ca, and you can see it right here on the show. Again, that email is weathershots@ctv.ca. Average conditions for today, but it's going to feel a lot colder into the afternoon with the wind chill later on this afternoon. Today's daytime high, pardon me, -6. Average for this time of the year is -6.4. The sun will be up at 7:35 and set tonight at 4:51, so it's setting later and later throughout the day. Now, we do have some watches and warnings to tell you about. This one, first one is for the snow squall watch, and this one is for the areas down in Cornwall along the Seaway and down in Brockville as well. You can see it's this light orange color on your screen. You can see 5 to 10 centimeters of blowing snow in the forecast for today, and then we do have a snow squall warning. This is for areas in Belleville and Kingston. You can see it's the darker orange on your screen, and they could see 10 upwards of 20 centimeters of snow, and again, blowing snow a factor as well. So we do have some messy weather on the way, especially on your commute home, even for us here in the city. Right now, we're seeing some light flurries to start your morning off. We will see periods of light snow off and on throughout the day ahead. That will continue right through into your overnight before skies clear up. Sunshine on the way for tomorrow, but then more snow on the way Wednesday right through until Friday. So we do have a snowy week. It will be a little bit cold in terms of temperatures as well. Wind speeds, we're expecting some stronger winds gusting out of the southwest, 20 up to 40 kilometers an hour from noon hour till about 5-6 p.m. That's why we could see some snow squalls even here in Ottawa. So there is a risk of snow squalls from noon hour till about 5-6 p.m. So it definitely impacting your drive home. Wind speeds will then be a bit calmer into your day tomorrow. Temps right now, we're sitting at -8. It does feel closer to -12 with that wind chill. -5 in Kingston, -10 out in the valley currently. Your daytime high into the afternoon is -6 for this afternoon, but it will actually feel colder later on this afternoon and feel closer to -16. So we do have a colder day ahead. Temps ranging from -6 in Ottawa, -7 for Bancroft, Kemptville, -5 over in Brockville, as well as along the Seaway today, -7 for Kittigan, Zippy, as well as over in Gatineau. So here's a look at that 7-day forecast. -6 today will feel closer to -16 again, 2 to 4 centimeters of snow. We could see risk of snow squalls from noon hour till about 6 p.m. Cold tonight, -18. Cold for tomorrow as well. -11 is the daytime high, but we will get to see that sunshine. Chance of scatter flurries from Wednesday and through Friday. Temperatures will remain cold throughout the next 7 days.
7-day weather forecast, brought to you by Davidson Hearing Aid Centers, celebrating over 80 years in family business.
And eastbound on the 417, seeing some volume beginning at the 416 split in through Woodruff. Westbound on the Queensway, slowdowns at Nicholas. We're also seeing heavier volume westbound on the 174 between 10th Line and Montreal Road.
Canadians have kicked off the new year with plans to make big spending cuts. A survey found that 2/3 of us expect to slash their budgets as they prepare to face a tough economic year. Let's bring in Eric Fontaine, a branch manager with TD Bank, with more on his findings. Good morning to you, Eric.
Hey, good morning, Will. How are you?
I'm great, thank you. You know, I think it's important that we establish that why are Canadians planning to change their spending habits in this brand new year?
It's the cost of living, Will. I mean, 70% of respondents are saying that it's a direct result of that. And I mean, we've seen it, right? The costs of goods, stuff that we need on a weekly basis, it's gone up almost double since the start of the pandemic. Our salaries have not kept up with that, which really erodes our discretionary spending power, and that just makes it tough. I mean, the good news is there's folks like me out there that you can talk to once you set a financial goal. Certainly myself, my peers at TD, but also I would argue at any financial institution, there are folks there who want to help and have the tools, have the resources, have the expertise to help folks hit their financial goals.
Yeah, you touched on it perfectly, where the cost of everything just continues to climb, which is, for so many the reason why they're having to cut back on their budgets. But when you take a look at the flip side, what are Canadians' top financial priorities for this year as they look to maybe scale back some of that spending?
So saving and investing is at the top of the list. Will, it's a big focus. Managing day-to-day expenses, and bringing that down. Like you said, 2/3 of Canadians are looking to reduce expenses. Paying down debt is another one. Supporting family and children and covering housing costs and living expenses kind of rounded out. And I'd encourage, I talked about having a financial goal. I'd really encourage folks to see where they are on that spectrum, right? Are you looking to reduce debt? Are you looking to lower expenses? Are you looking at savings and investing? And once you kind of know where you are, you can more easily set a goal.
Yeah, you know, Eric, I'm sure many people have heard this over the years, but today is commonly referred to as Blue Monday, with post-holiday debt being one of the main factors this year. What are some ways that Canadians can combat that financial anxiety?
Yeah, that's fair. I think setting a goal is the right place to start. Talking to an industry professional that has the tools, has the resources, is another big one. I think gaining agency over your spending, having line of sight directly to each dollar that is spent and where it's going. And the reason I say that in this day and age of, you know, at your door delivery and monthly subscriptions, it's easy to lose track. Those subscriptions really add up over time. You know, gaining line of sight to that is a really great place to start. And also really only keeping those subscriptions that add value to you. I'd also recommend that folks take a look at where they're spending money on interest. You know, debt's an important part of the financial picture. We all need to have it from time to time, but really looking at where you're spending on high interest debt, prioritizing cutting that back and paying that down, and even potentially restructuring that high interest debt becomes important. There's some savings there.
Really appreciate your time speaking with Eric Fontaine, TD Bank branch manager, especially this time of year. Appreciate some tips and helping us with that anxiety as we move through the year, Eric.
That's great. Thank you, Will.
Coming up on Your Morning Ottawa. Today is thought to be the most depressing day of the year. We hear from a registered psychotherapist up next to tell us how we can manage our mental health during the dark and sometimes dreary days of winter. Our guest is standing by in the Your Morning Ottawa Lazy Boy Lounge. Here is a live look at our George Street cameras, and we are looking out. We got some snow to look forward to for another day today. We'll be right back.
Welcome back, everybody. Here are the big stories that we're following today on Your Morning Ottawa. We are starting with troubles continuing at OC Transpo. The agency is now putting fewer buses on the roads due to an aging bus fleet and maintenance issues. One councillor says the issues could last a while. A new proposed high-rise near LeBreton Flats is drawing mixed reviews from nearby residents. The proposal would see a 28-story building right at the entrance to downtown. And Prime Minister Mark Carney says Canada is concerned about the escalation of Donald Trump's threats to take over Greenland. Let's take a look if we have any more snow in the forecast after a snow-filled weekend, Melissa.
We are expecting more snow throughout the day ahead. Some light flurries this morning with light snow into the afternoon. We could see a risk of snow squalls later on today as well, as we start to see some stronger winds gusting out of the southwest from noon hour till about 5-6 p.m. -6 is your daytime high. However, we'll feel closer to -16 with that wind chill. On your roads this hour, still no major issues. Volume is definitely starting to build east to west right now on the Queensway. And just to keep in mind, we could see slippery driving conditions as we are already starting to see some snow accumulate on the roadways. Rosie.
Prime Minister Mark Carney has wrapped up his visit to Beijing. He signed what he called a landmark trade agreement that allows Chinese electric vehicles into the market.
Canada has agreed to allow up to 49,000 Chinese electric vehicles into the Canadian market.
It comes in exchange for a reduction on some tariffs and has angered Ontario Premier Doug Ford in the process. Let's bring in Carleton University professor Elliot Tepper to discuss this deal. Good morning to you.
Oh, good morning.
Good morning
Rosie.
to you. There's so many things to consider here, but overall, all things considered, is this a good deal for Canada?
It was almost an inevitable deal for Canada, and we should keep in mind that it possibly would have happened without the current pressure, as we put it, from the Trump administration. Canada has long wanted a free trade agreement of major deal with China, including Mark Carney in his private capacity. So this is a continuation of traditional liberal foreign policy. The fact that it is happening now is, in fact, important. The deal itself is being called a strategic partnership. I don't think it's actually strategic nor a partnership. It's more tactical. And if there's ever a partnership, we're likely to be the junior partner. So I think it's a good deal all in all, because we do have to deal with the second largest economy in the world. India is also coming up on tap in that same way. But we do have to be, as our government has said, clear-eyed when you're dealing with the Communist Party of China.
Okay, so this deal has apparently, in a way, pitted the prairies against Ontario, if you will. So the Premier of Saskatchewan is happy because canola, the tariffs have gone down from China. From 100%, they will go down to about 15%. So canola farmers are happy. But in Ontario, the auto industry, now it looks like we're letting in about 47,000 EVs from China. That may affect Ontario's auto industry. So how will the Prime Minister handle these two entities?
Probably fairly skillfully, and by throwing money at it. There's undoubtedly going to be, I shouldn't say undoubtedly, very likely there will be a special arrangement made by the federal government with the automobile industry in order to help cushion this. This 49,000 EVs that are being let in, China is billing this, interestingly, as a way to meet our climate goals, because otherwise we won't make it. The possibility exists that the cap, and they've emphasized cap, and it's only 3 years, it's a trial period, et cetera. It's entirely possible that Canadians will find themselves as built into this with two things. One, cheaper EVs, because that's written into the deal, and also they'll have a much wider selection of EVs, but intended and implicit in this is that there will be joint ventures so that we will be gaining Chinese technology, which is world leading in EVs.
We're just about running out of time. How will the Prime Minister, will he have to change his language? Because in the past, he has called China a security threat. Now with this deal, does that mean things will change in terms of his language and attitude toward China?
On the one hand, we have to really continue to beef up our defenses, and we are. We've got a whole range of new measures in place, and Foreign Registry Act, et cetera. China is indeed a major disruptive power internationally, also of concern domestically. But remember that our major trading partner is still the U.S. The possibility exists that we will gain $3 billion out of this agreement. $3.6 billion crosses the Canada-U.S. border every day. So we will have to keep in mind that our long-range interests rest with correcting our relationship somehow or another with the U.S. And meanwhile, we do have to deal with an emerging economy the size of China, but it is a small portion of our overall economic future.
So many more questions to ask and to discuss, but we don't have any more time, but hopefully we can bring you back to discuss this further. International relations expert at Carleton University, Elliot Tepper, thank you so much for coming by. Thank you so much.
Rosie.
Melissa.
Well, today is known by some as Blue Monday. It's thought to be the most depressing day of the year, but is there any scientific evidence to back this up? We have a registered psychotherapist, Christine Harrison, here to talk more about this. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Okay, let's talk about the thought of Blue Monday and if there's any scientific evidence surrounding this whatsoever.
So, clinically speaking, it's not a phenomenon of mental unwell. It's more of a marketing.
Yeah.
Right? There isn't really any data to report that humans as a mass all feel more sad or more blue on a particular day of the year.
Right. So let's talk about the winter months, though, and what we might be feeling, especially come mid-January when we feel like we've just been in winter forever.
The blue that people report in the winter is more of a biological response to winter. Humans are supposed to stay quiet in the winter to kind of historically prepare for a busy spring and summer. So what we notice is darker months, there's less sun. Therefore, we're producing more melatonin. And we talked a bit about this with the seasonal affective disorder. So you're going to be more sleepy. Your circadian rhythm, that part of your brain that helps keep a routine with your sleep, is disrupted. So routines for sleep are out of whack. We are a little bit irritable. we have some symptoms. So these would be our Blue Monday symptoms.
Okay.
You're a little bit irritable, you're not sleeping as well, the weather, all of these things are affecting our ability to get out and do things, and probably we're staying in our head a bit more.
Right. I can see that. You look outside, you're like, oh, what's the temp? -18. No, I'm good. I'm going to stay in.
Yeah, exactly. And when we are in our head, we're believing our thoughts. And our thoughts contribute to our behaviors, and our behaviors contribute to our mood.
What are some strategies that we should take in place, especially during these winter months when it's just so dark and dreary and cold outside?
I really recommend looking at small shifts rather than relying on, my favorite word, motivation.
Yeah.
So motivation doesn't just find us. It's creating those little routines and rituals that help move us along. So one shift. So if you plug into your calendar, and I'm a big fan of pre-planning. So plug into your calendar one walk a week. Maybe a coffee meetup with a friend, maybe a check-in with somebody that you love or care about. These small shifts can make a big difference getting through the winter.
Do you think that we should just, try and get out as much as we can and just kind of embrace the winter for what it is?
Oh, emphatically, yes. We have the Rideau Canal.
Yeah.
We have so many events in Ottawa that are happening outside, so many free events. Highly recommend getting out as much sunshine as you can and as soon as you can in the morning. So the moment that sun gets up, get out there, sun right in your eyeballs.
And when should someone realize that what they're feeling is maybe not normal and they should seek advice?
Kind of best practice, clinically speaking, is 2 weeks.
Okay.
So if you've noticed that you're not sleeping as well, your routines are disrupted, you're more irritable, maybe your use of substances is going up, reach out to a mental health professional, a registered mental health professional or a GP. Highly encourage folks or discourage the use of kind of quick fix online coaches that we see out there. That's part of that Blue Monday marketing.
Yeah.
Right? So reach out to a registered professional, talk to a friend. There's a lot of walk-in services in Ottawa that are free for temporary crisis, as well as our regular distress line and crisis lines.
Wonderful. And what's the website that people can get a hold of you as well? Because I know you write, pardon me, a lot of blogs about different topics as well.
We do, yeah, and we have quite a variety of support. It's focusforward.health.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Christine, for joining us today.
Always lovely.
Well, coming up in your morning, Ottawa making art from ice. Rosie got a chance to learn how to carve her own ice sculpture coming up after the break. But we'll take a peek outside through our Skycam on George Street because you could probably carve some ice sculptures outside with the frigid temperatures we've seen over the last few days. Little bit more snow to fall too on your Monday. It is 7:27. We'll be right back.
So glad you could start your day with us. I'm Rosie Edna.
Yeah, happy Monday, everyone. I'm Willie. Hello.
And I'm Melissa Lamb.
I'm excited to see what you were up to last week because Ice Sculpture Nation, it's the perfect time to do something like that, and I can't wait to see what you come up with.
Oh, it was so much fun, and you will all get to see the finished product of my handiwork. That's coming up after the break. But first up, we are going to take a look at your top headlines. Changes are coming to public transit in Ottawa. OC Transpo is dealing with an aging bus fleet and maintenance issues, which has led to a stretch of unreliability.
Like, it's cold out here. It's real cold. This is not LA.
OC Transpo says it has temporarily canceled 255 regular weekday trips and taken 20 buses off the roads, leaving many passengers waiting in the cold.
What that's resulting in right now is buses that are just not showing up. And that has some really staggering real-world implications for people who rely on transit to get around.
Councillor Jeff Leeper says the plan is to create a more reliable, consistent schedule until the city can add more buses to its fleet, which may not happen until the spring or summer.
Well, skating was limited at a small section of the Rideau Canal Skateway yesterday as reports came in that a piece of concrete fell from the Bronson Bridge. The Director of Infrastructure Services tells CTV News that the bridge is safe and there are no concerns regarding its integrity. This section of the skateway is fenced off out of an abundance of caution. A contractor will be on site this morning to prevent any further issues. City road crews are picking up all the snow this morning. Efforts took place overnight and continue till 7 a.m. The city says parking permit holders are not exempt from snow removal operations, and non-compliance will result in a ticket. Vehicles in prohibited areas will be towed to a nearby street.
2 people have been taken to hospital after Ottawa fire crews responded to a low-rise apartment fire in Hintonburg. Multiple 911 calls came in just after 6 o'clock yesterday evening for reports of flames coming from a window of a building on Armstrong Street. Once on scene, firefighters rescued 1 person from the building. Ottawa paramedics say they transported 1 man to hospital in critical condition, and about an hour later, they transported another man in stable condition. The cause of the fire is under investigation.
As Ottawa's population continues to grow, so does the need for housing. A developer is planning to build a 28-story high-rise just on the edge of downtown that overlooks the Breton Flats.
It's a big building, and the configuration of it is what excited me the most, because it's really unusual and it'll stand out, right on the edge of the entrance to the downtown core. It oversees the library, the new home of the senators, and it's a great location.
The plan calls for 326 residential units and 94 underground parking spaces. It will be next to an existing heritage building, the Alexander Fleck House, which the developer says will be preserved. Area residents are mixed on the redevelopment.
I think 28 stories is very high as well for being sitting up on a hill. If they're affordable, then sure.
I'm not sure that's what people are really looking for. I think they're more looking for houses rather than apartments.
The area councillor says the city is planning to do a public consultation before the plan goes to committee in March.
Prime Minister Mark Carney says Canada is concerned about the escalation of Donald Trump's threats to take over Greenland.
The security of Greenland. Security is first and foremost for them, but very much falls within the responsibilities of NATO.
Trump has claimed the U.S. needs to control Greenland to keep Russia and China from gaining an advantage in the Arctic. He has also threatened tariffs on European nations who do not support his bid to control Greenland. At least 39 people are dead following a high-speed train crash in Spain. Officials say the cars on a train headed to Madrid last night jumped the tracks, crossing into the path of an incoming train. 400 people were on board both trains. Dozens of people are hurt. Spain's civil guard says it's the country's worst rail crash in more than a decade. An investigation into what happened is now underway.
A little shakeup to the makeup of the Ottawa Charge. The team completed a 6-player trade with Vancouver, which acquired 3 former champions. The Charge acquired forwards Michaela Cava and Brooke McQuigg and defender Emma Greco from the Golden Eyes. This is all in exchange for forwards Manon McMahon, Anna Meixner, and Anna Shahina. The 3 players acquired by Ottawa all won the inaugural Walter Cup title as members of the Minnesota Frost.
Residents in Ottawa's Alta Vista neighborhood are doing a lot more looking up these days. A murder of crows has taken over the winter skyline, delighting some and frightening others.
And they used to congregate all the way over by St. Saint Laurent Boulevard, and then for the last week or 2 they've been roosting right here in the trees.
It's a love-hate relationship at this point, especially when I saw my car in the morning.
According to residents, it's not uncommon to see crows roosting nearby this time of year, but it's unusually in forests and parks, not only their streets. And not nearly that many. According to Environment Canada, crows roost in winter for warmth and safety, and residential neighborhoods offer tall trees, fewer predators, and easy access to food.
If you thought we had a lot of snow last week, check this out.
Yeah, this might make us feel a little bit better. This is from Kamchatka in eastern Russia. A howling winter storm has buried cities under heavy snow, with some buildings seeing snowdrifts up to the 4th floor.
Wow.
The snow was so continuous that schools and public transportation were closed. Wow. Oh, yeah, get that workout in.
Saw some videos where it was like up to 13 feet tall, and you just saw them next to the, like, look at that.
Yeah. You can't even get out of the house.
So much snow.
Not even a snowblower can save you there. That's how it'll be. Manual shovel labor.
That is so true.
Oh my goodness, it's like up to the roof. That's wild.
Look at that.
Who needs the front door? Out the top floor window, down into the front, and off to work you go.
Oh my goodness.
That's a lot of snow.
Yeah, my son would be so excited to see that much snow. He'd be like, I had to shovel out. Yes, Mommy, not so much.
That'd keep him busy for a very long time.
Very long time, and exhausted too. That he'd be having great sleep at night, being so tired from playing in the snow. We're expecting a little bit of fresh snow in the forecast for us here today. Not nearly that much though, just about 2 to 4 centimeters in total. Risk of some snow squalls into the afternoon as well. So right now we're seeing some light flurries. The snow started just before 5 a.m. and we will kind of continue to see light flurries, periods of light snow off and on throughout the day ahead. So we will see this right and through this evening into our overnight as well. That's when it will begin to taper off, and we will get to see some sunshine as we head into your Tuesday. We will see mix of sun and cloud into tomorrow, and then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, we could see some more snow on the way. So we definitely have a bit of a snowier week, a colder week as well in the forecast for us. So temperatures a little bit chilly. For today, we have a risk of snow squalls, and that's because we're expecting some stronger winds gusting out of the southwest up to 40 kilometers an hour. So this is mainly from noon hour today until about 5 or 6 p.m. So definitely could impact your drive home, as we are expecting blowing snow to be a factor on the roads. It will be worse in areas down in Belleville, Kingston, Brockville, Smiths Falls, and along the Seaway as well. You can see they're going to deal with more intense winds, and we actually have a watch in place for areas along the Seaway and a warning in place for areas along Kingston. So just keep that in mind if you are traveling anywhere today, that we could see blowing snow and some snow squalls in the forecast, mainly this afternoon and on that drive home. Right now, temperature sitting at -8, but with that wind chill, does feel closer to -12 this hour. So not too bad to start off your morning. It will actually be a little bit colder into your afternoon. For recess today, again, a cool day with some fresh snow, but don't worry, dress warmly and get outside. It will be nice to play in all that fresh snow. Temperatures reaching that daytime high today of -6. However, wind chill will be a little bit more into the afternoon. We'll feel closer to -16 later on today, so it will feel colder even though temperatures warm up later on this afternoon. Around the region, similar to here in Ottawa, -8 in the Valley, -7 in Bancroft, -6 as well out in Kingston for your daytime high today. -5 is the high in Montreal, -7 over in Gatineau. So over the next couple of days, temperatures definitely a little bit colder this week. We are expecting some snowier conditions as well, but we do have some nicer days to get outside and enjoy. -6 for today, fresh snow, 2 to 4 centimeters. Risk of snow squalls this afternoon and on your commute home. -11 for tomorrow, so quite chilly, but at least it will be nice and sunny to get outside as we head into Wednesday and through Friday. Not so cold middle of the work week, colder as we head towards the end of the work week with some snow. On the drive-in right now, we still have volume eastbound on the 417. It's heavy beginning at Moody and through Bronson. Westbound on the Queensway, also a little bit slow this hour at Hunt Club through Nicholas. Westbound on the 174, we're seeing heavier volume between 10th Line and the 417 split.
Traffic brought to you by Presler Injury Lawyers. 1-800-JUSTICE.
Ice carving is front and center during Winterlude right here in Ottawa. I got to try my hand at the craft at one of the world's only public ice carving workshops open to the public. Why don't you take a look? Ice, ice, baby. Yeah, that's right. It's all about ice carving. And I am here with Suguru Kimbayashi. And I think it's one of the world's only ice carving workshops open to the general public. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Rosie.
Okay, so tell me about this. Why do you love ice carving so much? You are an ice sculptor yourself.
Yeah, I've been carving ice for about 30 years.
Wow.
And it's a fantastic medium. There's nothing like it in the world. It's unfortunate it melts.
Yeah,
but,
that's true.
Hey, nothing is permanent in the world.
Yeah.
And to be able to carve crystal is an experience that is unlike any other medium.
Oh, I cannot wait to dive into that with you. You're going to walk me through it. But first of all, let's talk about this workshop. You love it so much, carving ice, that you said, hey, I'm going to have a workshop, open it up to the public, and from as young as about 8, 9, 10 years old and older, they can come in and do this. So please, tell me about the logistics. How does it work?
Well, the thing about ice carving is it's a logistical nightmare. And I've got 2 young boys, 5 and 10, and You know, they're always like, Daddy, I want to do ice carving too. I want to do ice carving too. And I'm holding my chainsaw and chisel, and I'm like, that's probably not a good idea. Let me think of something. And it took about 2 years or so. And my boys were happy to help. And we developed this safe way to do ice carving for pretty much anybody. The workshop is called Anybody Can Sculpt Ice. It's open to 8 years old, kids 8 years old or older, and younger kids can do it, but they need parent supervision.
Okay.
We don't use any sharp tools. We don't use any power tools. We actually use a special technique that I learned from competitive ice carving, and we use the thermal conductivity powers of metal.
I think that is fantastic. So no sharp tools. You don't have to worry about that. When are your workshops available? And how can people get in touch?
The best way is to go to eventbrite.ca.
Okay.
And search for Anyone Can Sculpt Ice.
Anyone can sculpt ice. I love it. Anyone, even me, can sculpt ice, and that's about what we're going to do right now. Got my gloves on, right? This is what you need.
That's right.
Okay, and you need like a little sweater, a little toque, because of course it's got to be cold in here, right?
Yeah.
And what else do we need here?
Well, we're going to start with basically a pre-carved. I've started this because ice carving is difficult in that, you know, the medium melts very quickly. So I want to make sure that participants get as much out of it as possible within the hour-and-a-half class that we have. And I want to make sure that, you know, even beginners have the opportunity to create something that is great for selfies and something that, you know, is a unique experience that, you know, you don't really get to do anywhere else.
I can't wait. This is so much. This looks like it's going to be so much fun. We've got the ice. We got a shape going here, and now it's time to just refine it all. Right?
That's right.
All right, Suguru, show me the way. Let's do this.
All right.
And Melissa, ta-da! Okay, things are melting rapidly.
Yes, of course. It
as you
doesn't
can
like
imagine.
bright lights.
There you go, exactly. But so he starts you off, right? He gives you the basic mold, and then you finish it off with those incredible pieces of metal that he's created, dipping in warm water, and then you finish it up, clearing it.
Right.
Melissa, I have to say, it's so therapeutic.
Yeah.
I mean, it's amazing, and I have to thank Suguru Kenbayashi for letting me in the studio. You want more information, you can look him up there. Look, this one is falling over, but
they're melting a little bit.
I know.
But once they get outside, they'll be happy
It's really
again.
fun. So I put in there a heart with CTV.
Yes,
I don't know if you can see that, but
yeah.
it's there. We had a wonderful time, very therapeutic.
I bet.
And I mean, it's all just so great to do this just before Winterlude starts. And he does create some massive sculptures
And kids
for
can
Winterlude.
do this too, which
And
is really
kids.
nice because as we saw, it was fairly safe for them.
So much fun.
Oh my goodness, I love it. I might have to bring the kids and go check it out.
Yes.
All right, I don't know about you, Rosie, but have you ever solved a Rubik's Cube? No? Okay, I must say that I have never been able to solve it, but you know what? Don't worry, because we have a champion here who's going to show us and give us some tips on how to solve the Rubik's Cube, because there is a championship coming up right here in our city, not so far away. So we're going to learn more about that coming up in a few minutes. Look at that. I'm just going to pretend that I did this one, okay? We'll be back right after this. How fast can you you solve a Rubik's Cube, some of the fastest in the world, speed cubers, they are known as, will be in Gatineau for an international speed cubing championship next month. And here to tell us more, we have Rémi Chrétien, a speed cube competitor. Good morning to you.
Thank you for having me.
I'm so excited to have you here because I've never been able to solve this. So I would really like to learn at some point in my life. But first, tell me about speed cubing. What is it all about?
Yeah, so basically speed cubing is the sport of solving Rubik's Cube as quickly as possible.
Okay.
And there are competitions for that.
Yeah.
Where people from all different ages and speeds come and compete to see who's the quickest at solving it.
Wow.
And yeah, that's what we're doing.
That's amazing. Okay, so when did you learn that, hey, I have a knack for this, I'm pretty good at this?
I'd say pretty much when I started, it was already something I love to do. I started when I was 9 years old, so 10 years ago now. And yeah, haven't quit since.
That's amazing. And people can come out and watch you guys as well. Where can they do that?
Yeah, so we have a competition here in Ottawa on April 12th. And if anyone is interested to see what we're doing there, they can come and watch us. It's free. And yeah.
All right, so let's talk about the Rubik's Cubes you have here, because I was used to the traditional one, which we're seeing on the screen. I had never seen that there are actually different ones. So they're all a little bit different but unique. Is it easy to solve, or are they all a little different in terms of what you have to do to solve it?
Yeah, so there's a different method for every puzzle.
Okay.
But overall, once you learn the method, it's not a question of how hard is it to solve, it's how efficient can you be when you solve it so that you can cut off all these little tenth of a second.
Okay, I'm gonna mix it up and I want you to solve this, okay? I wanna see.
I'm not looking.
Okay, don't look. Gosh, I don't even know how to mix it up. That's how terrible I am at this. Okay, I think this is pretty good. So, look at it, it's all mixed up. I'm gonna hand it over to you. I wanna see how fast you could do this. Okay, so you analyze it first.
Right,
That's
so
the first step. Okay.
the most important thing, especially in a competition setup, is to take advantage of all the time you get to inspect the puzzle, as this is where you get the most information in.
Okay.
So yeah.
All right, are you ready to go?
I'm ready.
All
Let's
right.
Go. Oops. I messed it up.
Oh, you messed it up. Oh my goodness, that was so fast. That was just in a matter of a couple of seconds.
Yeah, I messed it up a little bit.
Oh, no, you did amazing. You were spinning it faster than I could even wrap my head around. So what am I looking for if you mix this up? Like, what am I looking to do?
Yeah, right.
Tell me the method.
So I'll just scramble it up a little bit.
Okay.
So for the 2x2 cube, the most important thing is to solve a face first.
A face?
So, right. So you need to solve a face in a way that the top layer, all the colors on the side of it are aligned. So this is called a layer. So how you would solve this is just bring every piece one by one to create this layer.
Okay.
So you do this intuitively. And then the second step would be to solve the top face. So once the first layer is done, there's a few algorithms that you need to learn, so that in which case this one, I know how to solve it. I just do this algorithm that I learned, and now the top face is solved and the rest is still preserved. And then I've learned a few more algorithms so that in this case I can just solve it in one. And we're done.
But Will, did you get that? Did you get that, buddy? Yep. Okay, are you ready? Are you ready to do this with me?
It's really easy. So once you get that algorithm in place, you actually just have to think about your deepest fear, and then just like that, it's done. That's it.
That doesn't look right, my friend. Okay, so you mix it up for me, and I'm gonna try and see if I can solve
All right, let's do this.
We're gonna need about 2 hours. It just spins it so effortlessly. Okay, so what I wanna do is I wanna move it around.
Right.
Oh man.
So for your white face,
That's what I was trying to do.
this piece,
Yeah.
you can bring it on the bottom there because this is where it would go.
I could bring it over there?
Right. So once.
What?
Yeah. So just put it this way.
This way.
Right.
Okay.
Then turn this like this.
Turn this one?
Right.
Okay.
And then this layer, turn it twice. Right.
Okay.
So now you've got 3 pieces.
Okay.
Now this blue piece, to insert it, you turn this bottom layer twice. Right. And then this one, if you turn the cube this way.
Yep.
Then this one, if you turn it like that.
Okay, well, we're going to keep on trying to solve this here. And for now, Rosie, we're going to send things over to you. Maybe you're a little bit better at this than I am.
Coming up in the 8 o'clock hour on Your Morning Ottawa, the travel industry continues to see significant changes in top trending locations for 2026. We'll go over all of those changes coming up after the break. It's 7:54. You're watching Your Morning Ottawa.
Welcome back, everybody. We got just one milestone to celebrate with you on this Monday, January 19th. And it is a happy third birthday to Aaliyah. Love from mommy and daddy. Happy birthday from all of us here at Your Morning Ottawa. If you got a milestone, we want you to celebrate it with us. Send us those birthday announcements for kids turning 13 or under, or 100 or more, or wedding anniversary celebrating 50 years or more. We'll get that announcement on air. How you find us? Email us, Your Morning Ottawa milestones at ctv.ca. It's right up there on the screen. Taking a peek at our sky cam on George Street. The snowfall continues for at least one more day. And bundle up. Temperature still feeling a little cool this morning. Stay with us. Happy Monday. It's Monday, January 19th. Troubles at OC Transpo continue. Fewer buses are out on the roads, and over 250 weekday trips get canceled.
A piece of debris falls from the Bronson Bridge. The city and NCC say it's safe, and canal skating will continue.
Drake up ahead for Cobb to the Brigham, moves it and shoots.
An overtime loss for the Senators in James Reimer's debut. Your Morning Ottawa continues right now.
Good morning. I'm Rosie Edda.
I'm Lila Yellow.
And I'm Melissa Lamb.
We're going to get to today's top stories straight away. As OC Transpo deals with an aging bus fleet and maintenance issues, the transit service is now putting fewer buses on the roads. OC Transpo says there are now 20 fewer buses on the roads, which has resulted in the cancellation of 255 weekday trips on top of any usual issues. One Ottawa councillor says a plan is coming to help riders have a more consistent and reliable schedule, but people should be prepared to see those changes drag on into the spring or summer.
It's highly unlikely that we can throw a bunch of money at the problem and fix it within, a few weeks. We really need those zero emission buses to begin arriving much more quickly in the city, and that's something that we just have to wait for.
OC Transpo is expecting 110 new buses by the end of March and 234 in total by the end of the year.
Skating was limited at a small section of the Rideau Canal Skateway yesterday as reports came in that a piece of concrete fell from the Bronson Bridge. The Director of Infrastructure Services tells CTV News that the bridge is safe and there are no concerns regarding its integrity. The section of the skateway is fenced off out of an abundance of caution. A contractor will be on site this morning to prevent any further issues.
2 people have been taken to hospital after Ottawa fire crews responded to a low-rise apartment fire in Hintonburg. Multiple 911 calls came in just after 6 o'clock yesterday evening for reports of flames coming from a window of a building on Armstrong Street. Once on scene, firefighters rescued one person from the building. Ottawa paramedics say they transported one man to hospital in critical condition, and about an hour later, they transported another man in stable condition. The cause of the fire is under investigation.
As Ottawa's population grows, so does the need for housing. A developer is planning to build a 28-story high-rise just on the edge of downtown that overlooks the Breton Flats.
It's a big building, and it's the configuration of it is what excited me the most because it's really unusual and it'll stand out, right on the edge of the entrance to the downtown core. It oversees the library, the new home of the Senators, and it's a great location.
The plan calls for 326 residential units and 94 underground parking spaces. It will be next to an existing heritage building, the Alexander Fleck House, which the developer says will be preserved. Area residents are mixed on the development.
I think 28 stories is very high as well for being sitting up on a hill. If they're affordable, then sure.
I'm not sure that's what people are really looking for. I think they're more looking for houses rather than apartments.
The area councillor says the city is planning to do a public consultation before the plan goes to committee in March.
European leaders are now speaking out over U.S. President Donald Trump's plan to impose tariffs on 8 countries if they oppose his takeover of Greenland.
Out of the 8 countries who happen to be in the Arctic, 7 are NATO members. So we're actually quite well prepared to deal with existing and future security challenges in the Arctic. So that's a dual message that we're sending to our friends in the United States of America.
Norway's foreign minister says President Trump's proposed tariffs are unacceptable. Denmark's prime minister took to social media writing, "Europe won't be blackmailed." President Trump says the tariffs would start at 10% before jumping to 25% in the summer.
A little shakeup to the makeup of the Ottawa Charge. The team completed a 6-player trade with Vancouver, which acquired 3 former champions. So this is what it looked like. The Charge acquired forwards Michaela Cava and Brooke McQuigg and defender Emma Greco from the Golden Eyes. This is all in exchange for forwards Manon McMahon, Anna Meixner, and Anna Shahina. The 3 players acquired by Ottawa all won the inaugural Walter Cup title as members of the Minnesota Frost.
The Senators were on the road Sunday, taking on Detroit, and they made it to overtime for the 2nd game in a row, but it ended in the Red Wings' favor.
Detroit up ahead for Copp to DeBrincat, moves it and shoots.
A little deja vu for the Sens, falling in the first 30 seconds of overtime for the 2nd game in a row. Detroit skates away with the 4-3 overtime win. Sunday's game also debuted for the 37-year-old James Reimer in net with 30 saves on 34 shots. Next up is a game with Columbus on Tuesday.
Felix Auger-Aliassime's run at the Australian Open came to an early end.
Got him out of shot.
Auger-Aliassime was down 2-1 in his first round match when leg cramps forced him to withdraw. He was the 7th seed in Australia, coming off his run to the semifinals in last year's U.S. Open. In other action, Denis Shapovalov and Victor Mboko are through to the 2nd round.
Tulip season is starting in the Netherlands.
It was National Tulip Day over the weekend. Visitors come from all around the world to admire and buy the flowers. Blooming season usually starts in March, but sales are starting right now in January.
Here in Canada, we get 20,000 bulbs a year for free. This is all of a gift from Holland. It's their way of saying thank you for our help during the Second World War. And they are beautiful. If you haven't ever taken a look at them, it's just a mesmerizing walk down the waterfront there as you get to look at the tulips.
A few more months, though, we'll have to wait before we see those tulips. The nice thing is they are in the ground, right? Because they have to be planted in the fall to be able to bloom in the spring. So they are in the ground just under all that snow.
That's right.
Waiting. Just
waiting. Waiting for their moment.
Nursery's always reminding you, just think about getting the bulbs now so you can prepare for the future.
That's right. We do have some warning and watches in place, not for us here in Ottawa, but for areas south of us. So there is a snow squall watch, 5 to 10 centimeters of snow, blowing snow. This is for Cornwall, the lighter orange on your screen right around down to Brockville. However, a snow squall warning for areas in Kingston as well as in Belleville. That's the darker orange on your screen, 10 to 20 centimeters of snow and very strong winds gusting up to 70 kilometers an hour. So we're expecting some snow squalls throughout the day ahead for us here in the city. We could also see a risk of snow squalls later on this afternoon as well. Still seeing some light snow. We started to see some light snow around 5 o'clock this morning. That's what we will kind of continue to see off and on throughout the day ahead. Some light flurries, about 2 upwards of 4 centimeters of snow possible by the end of the day. It will continue to snow right through into our overnight. That's when things will clear up. Some sunshine on the way for tomorrow as we head into Tuesday, but then we could see more snow on the way Wednesday right through until Friday. Wind speeds today, we're going to see some stronger winds gusting out of the southwest, 20 up to 40 kilometers an hour. So that's why there's a risk that we could see some snow squalls or blowing snow throughout your drive home. So it's from noon hour till about 5-6 p.m. So definitely impacting that drive home tonight. As you head into more morning, winds will come down, the flurries will end, it will be nice and sunny on your roads. So it's just mainly tonight that will be troublesome on the drive home. This morning, just dealing with some light snow, so roads could still be a little bit slippery. -6 is your daytime high for today. We'll feel closer to -16, so it'll actually feel colder this afternoon than it is this morning, and that's because we're going to see a stronger wind chill. -7 is your high out today in Kittigan-Zibi. So over the next couple of days, it will definitely be a cold week. -18 is the low for tonight. Again, 2 to 4 centimeters of snow. Nice and sunny for tomorrow, but still cold. -11 is your daytime high as we head into Wednesday to Friday. A chance of seeing some more flurries in the forecast, and temps will stay cold right through until the weekend. On your roads this morning, here's a live look at your time saver traffic. And again, we are collision free, which is great news, but you could see snow covered roadways this morning. So traffic is a little bit heavy east to west. You can see it is accumulating on your drive in this morning. So we are definitely seeing some troublesome spots. Keep that in mind just to give yourself some extra time. Eastbound on the 417 volume from Moody to Bronson. The Kitchis-Dibimecum Parkway is moving well this hour. Westbound on the Queensway slowdowns from Ramseyville Road in through Parkville. Westbound on the 174 build up from 10th line to the 417 split.
The travel industry continues to see a fascinating transformation. We'll tell you the top trending locations for 2026. Our guest is standing by in the cozy CTV Your Morning Ottawa Lazy Boy Lounge with a little bit of a wave. Hello, friend. Here's a live look through our Skycam on George Street, and the snowfall continues. It is shovel season. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Today's snow report brought to you by Centre Volage. Rediscover the new Volage.
And here's your snow report for today. Volage has all of their lifts open as well as 15 runs. Elsewhere on our ski hills, here's a look at what you can expect. Camp Fortune has 4 of their 6 lifts open. Edelweiss has 12 of their 21 runs. You can find 20 of 21 runs open at Mont Cascade, and Calabogie Peaks has all of their lifts.
Hi, I'm Andre here at Centre Volage. I invite you to come enjoy our 24 trails, including alpine touring, snowshoeing, and fat biking. Centre Volage, Wakefield's playground.
Well, we kick off our Beat the Bills week with some practical advice about some of the financial issues that often fall under the radar. Money Mindset Advisor Joanne with DFSA in Ottawa joins us this morning with her thoughts. Good morning to you, Joanne.
Good morning.
I think it's so wonderful to have you in. You know, it's a brand new year. People are starting to think about their financial stresses.
Yes.
So we're going to go over some topics today, and the first one is those hidden bills.
And that's a big one, right? Because all of a sudden you're like, where is my money going? This is a big one, and this is hidden in plain sight, right? You're thinking subscriptions, apps, maybe you joined something last year, used it for a month or two, and then forgot about it. But $5, $10, $20 really adds up to thousands a year. I always say if it renews automatically, it requires your attention.
And it's so funny you say that, because legitimately last week I went on my app and I was like, I have to be paying for some more of these subscriptions than I even realized. And there it was, $25, $30 every month coming out of the account that I was like, I don't even use this anymore. So I think that's so perfect because it does add up.
It totally. Yeah.
So number 2 we have is insurance, and this can mean many different things for many people.
Absolutely. And there are so many insurances out there, and people often will think that they're overinsured. The reality is they might have credit card insurance, they might have mortgage insurance, but is it really protecting you, right? So you want to take a look at what you have, what you may be checked off to say, yeah, I'll take this, without actually thinking about what it's going to do for you.
Right, because the actual benefit of maybe having it isn't what you need right now.
It actually might not protect your income, which is a big one. That's where you want to be protected.
And you know, life is continuously a little bit stressful, especially this time of year.
Yes.
And emergencies can add to that. So what's your advice on that front?
Well, so it ties in with the insurance quite well, because your income is used to pay a lot of the bills. So if an emergency happens and you don't get an income, these bills become a huge emergency. So you want to have 3 to 6 months of emergency fund, right? To cover your bills, to cover your expenses, so that no matter what happens, you're comfortable and can get back on your feet without any issues.
And would you imagine from a standpoint when it's like just me with myself, or let's say you're a parent of 2 with kids, would that 3 to 6 month emergency fund change at all based on your situation, or is that the safe number?
I would look at your bills. What are your bills and what expenses do you want to cover? So if I have a family, my bills might be significantly higher, because I have to allocate for the kids and things like that as well, right?
Right, okay, I love that. Okay, finally, something that everybody talks about all the time, inflation as it continues to rise.
Well, it's inflation and cost of living, right? And what I've been hearing a lot is, you know what, I got a raise this year, I don't know where my money went. But it's inflation and cost of living. And so I think with all of these, we want to be intentional, right? So if inflation, if you're feeling it, try to be a little bit more intentional with your money. Know where your money is going, and as much as possible, automate. Automate your savings, automate your investing, because then you're actually seeing that money staying in your account a little bit more.
It's amazing, Joy. Just a few minutes of these topics, I already feel more at ease, calmer with some of these tips, because a little can go a long way. So we really appreciate your time, where a lot of people are struggling financially.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
All right, we will take a peek outside through our Skycam on George Street. Still some snow to fall, and bundle up. Temperatures still a little chilly this morning. Stay with us, though. We'll keep you nice and cozy on your Monday. We'll be right back.
If you're looking to do a little bit of traveling this year, CAA has the top destinations that you might want to choose if you are looking to travel in 2026. And we are so lucky to have Rachel Lalonde here this morning. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Okay, I want to know, where are Canadians headed in 2026, or where should they be going to check out?
So, of course, they're wanting to do something different.
Yeah.
Go off the beaten path. They want curated experiences. So places, Australia, Japan, Iceland, the Maldives, unique places in the Mediterranean.
Okay.
Europe.
All right, so those are the places that people are going. Have you really seen a shift in terms of travel as well, being away from the U.S. and more to these European experiences, or Australian, as you mentioned?
Yes, for sure. People are changing the way they're traveling. They're doing the smaller groups. They're doing cruises. So people are wanting to go on the cruise and do those long stay, late night ports, that kind of thing. They're trying to be more immersive as well. And wellness travel is something too that's gaining popularity. Sustainable travel is gaining popularity as well.
Okay, very interesting. So if someone has a question, because you named some very different, unique experience everywhere from Australia to Japan, if someone's not quite sure, are you able to kind of tell them what you can expect at each of these destinations and then help them choose the right one?
Yes, we can certainly help. So whether they're doing a tour that's preset, or if they want to do an independent tour on their own, they want to be on their own, we can certainly walk them through all the steps, what's needed, and where to go, what to do, and get them ready to go, and they don't have to think about it.
I mean, this is beautiful. Look at these destinations. Absolutely stunning. Are people wanting to submerge themselves more in nature as well?
Yes, for sure, for sure. Places like our preferred suppliers like G Adventures and Trafalgar and Amma Waterways, they have unique experiences that really, really go to the mind, the body, the soul. They make sure that you're well taken care of.
You mentioned a bit about wellness as well. People are looking to, like maybe that holistic experience when they travel somewhere.
Yes, they take care of their mind and their spirit.
Oh, I love that. What are some places that you suggest people should check out, or at least put on their radar?
Thailand.
Yeah,
Thailand is an amazing thing. Our CAA Together groups right now has an 11-day trip to Thailand this November. Come and see us, and we can certainly get you going. You can go into, Bangkok and Phuket and the Phi Phi Islands, and it's an absolutely stunning adventure. So come and see us, and we can certainly set you up.
I mean, the beaches alone and the water. I mean, the mountains, picturesque. It's stunning.
It is absolutely stunning. It's somewhere that everybody needs to go. And you talk about mindfulness down there. It is just perfect spot.
The wellness, even just looking at the architecture, it's so different. You feel like you are in another country, right? It's nice when you really feel like you are traveling the world.
For sure.
And what's your advice to people who are looking to book some travel this year?
So book early.
Okay.
You're wanting that smaller group. You're wanting that mindfulness. You're wanting, the unique. There's not a lot of that. So book early so you get your place that you want, the date that you want, the type of itinerary that you want. You're not scrambling at the last minute trying to fit it in. Get your travel insurance. It's so important to be protected. You protect your investment. You protect yourself while you're down there. Get that in as well. Talk to a travel agent as well. They're the ones that'll take all of the extra work out of it, and you can just relax and you can enjoy it. You're not enjoying your vacation. If you've done it all yourself and you're worried about logistics when you're there, is it going to work? Is it this? Is it that? A travel agent takes all of that out of there for you.
And I think sometimes it's the little things you think of that we may not be already planning for that you're able to help us out with.
Exactly, for sure. You know, if you're doing a cycling trip, I've done several, and if you're not with a reputable company, what are you going to have? What happens if you get a flat tire? You know, who's going to fix it for you?
Okay.
So travel agents can certainly help you with all of that and take all of the guessing work out.
I love it. Well, thank you so much, Rachel, for joining us today. And where can people go for more information?
CAA, bookcaa.ca.
Wonderful. Thanks again for joining us today, and hopefully we've given you some travel ideas. Well.
Some of those destinations look very nice, but we are sending you to a new destination idea. A new cafe is opening this weekend in Barrhaven. They're going to give us a little sneak peek at some of their few dessert items, because who doesn't want dessert on a Monday? That's coming up next on Your Morning Ottawa. We head outside for the snow-filled Monday, with temperatures being a little bit cold. We do have the risk for some snow squalls continuing to the afternoon, so drive carefully out there, friends. We will be right back.
Good morning. Thanks so much for starting your day with us. I'm Rosie Edda.
Yeah, happy Monday, everyone. I'm Will Yellow.
And I'm Melissa Lamb.
And we're going to start off today with our top stories. Changes are coming to public transit in Ottawa. OC Transpo is dealing with an aging bus fleet and maintenance issues, which has led to a stretch of unreliability, frustrating transit users.
That's ridiculous. Like, it's cold out here. It's real cold. This is not LA.
OC Transpo says it has temporarily canceled 255 regular weekday trips and taken 20 buses off the roads, leaving many passengers waiting in the cold.
What that's resulting in right now is buses that are just not showing up. And that has some really staggering real-world implications for people who rely on transit to get around.
Councillor Jeff Leeper says the plan is to create a more reliable, consistent schedule until the city can add more buses to its fleet, which may not happen until the spring or summer.
Skating was limited at a small section of the Rideau Canal Skateway yesterday as reports came in that a piece of concrete fell from the Bronson Bridge. The Director of Infrastructure Services tells CTV News that the bridge is safe and there are no concerns regarding its integrity. The section of the skateway is fenced off out of an abundance of caution. A contractor will be on site this morning to prevent any further issues.
2 people have been taken to hospital after Ottawa fire crews responded to a low-rise apartment fire in Hintonburg. Multiple 911 calls came in just after 6 o'clock yesterday evening for reports of flames coming from a window of a building on Armstrong Street. Once on scene, firefighters rescued 1 person from the building. Ottawa paramedics say they transported 1 man to hospital in critical condition, and about an hour later, they transported another man in stable condition. The cause of the fire is under investigation.
As Ottawa's population continues to grow, so does the need for housing. A developer is planning to build a 28-story high-rise just on the edge of downtown that overlooks the Breton Flats.
It's a big building, and it's the configuration of it is what excited me the most, because it's really unusual and it'll stand out, you know, right on the edge of the entrance to the downtown core. It oversees the library, the new home of the senators, and it's a great location.
The plan calls for 326 residential units and 94 underground parking spaces. It'll be next to an existing heritage building, which is the Alexander Fleck House, which the developer says is going to be preserved. Area residents have some mixed reviews.
I think 28 stories is very high as well for being sitting up on a hill. If they're affordable, then sure.
I'm not sure that's what people are really looking for. I think they're more looking for houses rather than apartments.
The area councillor says the city is planning to do a public consultation before the plan goes to committee in March.
Prime Minister Mark Carney says Canada is concerned about the escalation of Donald Trump's threats to take over Greenland.
The security of Greenland. Security is first and foremost for them, but very much falls within the responsibilities of NATO.
Trump has claimed the U.S. needs to control Greenland to keep Russia and China from gaining an advantage in the Arctic. He has also threatened tariffs on European nations who do not support his bid to control Greenland. At least 39 people are dead following a high-speed train crash in Spain. Officials say the cars on a train headed to Madrid last night jumped the tracks, crossing into the path of an incoming train. 400 people on board both trains. Dozens of people are hurt. Spain's civil guard says it's the country's worst rail crash in more than a decade. An investigation into what happened is now underway.
A little shakeup to the makeup of the Ottawa Charge. The team completed a 6-player trade with Vancouver, which acquired 3 former champions. So here's a look at the trade. Charge acquired forwards Michaela Cava and Brooke McQuigg and defender Emma Greco from the Golden Eyes. This is all in exchange for forwards Manon McMahon, Anna Meixner, and Anna Shahina. The 3 players acquired by Ottawa all won the inaugural Walter Cup title as members of the Minnesota Frost.
Residents in Ottawa's Alta Vista neighborhood are doing a lot more looking up these days. A murder of crows has taken over the winter skyline, delighting some and frustrating others.
And they used to congregate all the way over by St. Saint Laurent Boulevard, and then for the last week or 2 they've been roosting right here in the trees.
It's a love-hate relationship at this point, especially when I saw my car in the morning.
According to residents, it's not uncommon to see crows roosting nearby this time of year, but it's usually in forests and parks, not on their streets, and not nearly this many. According to Environment Canada, crows roost in winter for warmth and safety, and residential neighborhoods offer tall trees, fewer predators, and easy access to food.
And this bird sure lives up to its name.
A trumpeter swan living near Midland, Ontario is back in the wild after being injured. Volunteers found it struggling with a hurt leg.
It was taken to the National Wildlife Center in Caledon for care and recovery. And of course, great news, it's back on its feet and back in the wild and back in the water. Right into the water, right? You could tell that I think it was missing its nice little swim time.
Does sound like a trumpet.
It really does, eh? I was shocked too. I'm like, it all makes sense now, right?
Perfectly titled,
And
perfectly
that
named.
fits.
Exactly. Well, our forecast today, we could see a little bit of a slippery drive home as we're expecting we could see a risk of snow squalls later on today. So flurries this morning is making roads very slick out there. Risk of snow squalls late this afternoon, especially on that drive home, and colder temperatures this week. So we have a bit of a chillier week in the forecast for us. We started to see some light snow early this morning around 5 a.m. and we will continue to see that kind of off and on throughout the day ahead. So we're expecting some light snow, some flurries off and on throughout your day ahead. 2 upwards of 4 centimeters of snow on the way. It will clear up early tomorrow morning, making way for some sunshine. So tomorrow will be our nice sunny day, but very, very cold as we head into Tuesday. Then Wednesday and through Friday, there's a chance that we could see some more scattered flurries in the forecast. We have a risk of snow squalls for us here in the city today, and that's because of these intense winds, and blowing snow will be a factor. So winds gusting into the southwest, 20 up to 40 kilometers an hour today. You could see mainly from 2 till about 5 p.m., but areas to the south of us, out in Belleville, Kingston area, you actually have a snow squall warning in effect, and there is a snow squall watch for areas in Brockville all the way through the Seaway, as you're expecting a bit more intense winds and a bit more snow than us here as well. You could see winds gusting up to 70 kilometers an hour, so definitely some blowing snow a factor throughout your later afternoon and through your evening hours. Temperatures right now sitting at -8 still. It does feel closer to -12, -13 with that wind chill this hour. -9 out in the valley, -5 currently in Trenton. Daytime highs today, so this is where temperatures will reach into our afternoon. -6 for us here in the Ottawa. However, it will feel colder this afternoon. We'll feel closer to -16 because of that wind chill. So we're going to see the wind chill increase into the afternoon. -8 out in the valley is your daytime high for today. So not too bad. Fairly average conditions for this time of the year. We should be sitting at around -6.4 degrees for this time time in January. So pretty average conditions. It's just the wind chill that's going to make it feel a lot colder in through your day ahead. Now in the 7-day forecast, we're going to see a cold week ahead. Minus 18 is the overnight low, and again 2 to 4 centimeters of snow on the way from this morning right through until your overnight. And again, we could see a risk of snow squalls later on this afternoon from noon hour right through until about 5-6 p.m. So definitely could impact the drive home, as we are expecting some blowing snow later on today. Cold for tomorrow, but nice and sunny. Minus 11 is your daytime high. We will see a mix of sun and cloud, then a chance of those scattered flurries from Wednesday and through Friday. Temps not so bad Wednesday, Thursday, fairly mild, normal for this time of the year, but then a bit colder as we head into Friday and through the weekend. Daytime highs in the minus double digits.
Weather brought to you by Yeckendorf Rashid. Experience, knowledge, and a commitment to excellence.
And here's a look at your snowy drive-in. And yes, we're seeing accumulation, and traffic is quite heavy right now as well. Heavy volume eastbound on the 417. We're seeing it at Moody right through till Bronson. The Kitchees to Beacon Parkway is moving well. Westbound on the Queensway, slowdowns at Ramseyville right through till Parkdale. Westbound on the 174 buildup at 10th line to the 417 split. McDonald, Cartier, and Champlain bridges, we're also seeing congestion. All other bridges are moving well this morning, but you can see the split in past Sail Rock. Very heavy volume, and snow is definitely accumulating on the highway, so we could see slippery driving surfaces.
We're in the Your Morning Ottawa kitchen, and it is time to introduce a new cafe opening this weekend in Barrhaven. It mixes coffee and chocolate. I mean, you cannot go wrong with that. I have Tara Katal, who's here with Choco Myth Cafe, and Mustafa. Good morning to you both.
Good morning.
Good morning to you both. Okay, we got Chef Mustafa, who's going to show us a little bit of pouring and a little bit of the wonderful desserts that you have. First off, congratulations.
Thank you so much.
And talk about Choco Myth Cafe.
So, Choco Myth's name is hidden in itself. We are offering our customers to have a special, mythical experience in our coffee with specialty chocolates, specialty Belgium chocolates, and with specialty drinks.
That is incredible. I see there. Look at that. It's all in that pour. You're adding the chocolate. I mean, especially this time of year, you wanted just a little sort of mood boost, and I feel you can get that with chocolate. Talk about some of the cafe when you walk in. I mean, it's about to open. What's the vibe like?
So vibe is a lot cozy. It feels like you're in Mediterranean area.
Ah, I love it.
I'll talk about the aesthetics a little bit that has in our walls. So when I was a kid, I always liked the architect of the Mediterranean area, like Spain, Turkey, Morocco. And in our coffee, I decided, okay, maybe we should just collaborate all of the Mediterranean together and end up with getting something like in our coffee.
That's beautiful. Okay, so Chef Mustafa, you're going to do a little demonstration of the pour. So if I come in, Choco Myth Cafe, I go, I want some chocolate. I want something sweet. What would you recommend?
So this is the pistachio and tapia.
Pistachio. Okay, there you go. All right.
And I can show you like demonstration.
Please go ahead, do that. So can you describe what we have here while Mustafa is going to do the pour? What is that?
If you want. So this one is our pistachio and tapia. It's really rich with our pistachio cake. And in the layers of it, we have our crema with pistachio pieces. And we add our beautiful Belgium hot chocolate on top of it.
On top of
now he's gonna do the last step. It's a pistachio pieces. So it's very rich with the Mediterranean itself, as I said. And we're doing the finishing.
Wait a minute. Oh,
Look at
chocolate fountain, essentially. That's beautiful. Okay, and then what else do we have here? What's this?
That's the San Sebastian cheesecake. The name itself comes from a village in Spain, but in Turkey, we did a little bit of modification on this dessert, and we have I'll call it Turkish San Sebastian version, which is very special. Right.
That's beautiful.
Thank you.
I'm loving that. Now, are you going to pour like at the cafe, or do we pour when we come in and order?
So each time when you order, one of our team members are going to come to your table and then create you that special, unique experience that you will feel. Because we offer in our coffee not just a dessert and a coffee.
Right.
It's a unique experience for each of our customers.
That's wonderful. Where are you located?
We're located in Barrhaven, Tilvio Morogno place in Barrhaven.
Okay.
And we'd love to see all of our customers.
That's amazing. And when are we opening up? When's the big day?
The big day is in 24th, and I'll tell you this, all of our drinks will be free for that day special. 2 p.m. to 10 p.m. Would love to see all of Society of Ottawa.
That is wonderful. Are you online at all? Can we take a little sneak peek ahead of time?
I mean, we are online in Instagram.
Yeah.
We'll be joining TikTok soon.
Okay.
So we're trying to, as our young entrepreneurs, we're trying to be really active in social media.
Exactly. So you're on Instagram, Choco Myth. We can take a look at the delectable treats that you're going to have to offer. This is a work of art, these two right here. It's gorgeous. Your pour, impeccable, Mustafa. I love it. Choco Myth Cafe, opening on the 24th. And as Tarek says, what is it, 2
p.m. Morogno.
2 p.m. into the evening hours, you get a free drink.
2 p.m. to 10 p.m. Yep.
2 p.m. to 10 p.m. Choco Myth opening up on the 24th. Good luck to both of you. All the very best. This looks absolutely amazing. Wow, what a way to go out and escape and get some wonderful dessert and a great coffee. Thank you again.
Thank you so much.
All right, if you know of a great chef or restaurant you think we should feature on our show, let us know. Your Morning Ottawa at ctv.ca. It's 8:43. You're watching Your Morning Ottawa. We'll be right back after this short break.
Harmony House is celebrating a special anniversary this year. They will mark their 40th birthday with Hope and Promise, a breakfast for women's futures. It's an event that brings together community leaders, sector experts, support, and survivors. So let's bring in Marilyn Matheson, Executive Director with Harmony House, and Francesca Davila, Director of Development and Communications of Harmony House. Good morning to you both.
Good morning.
So great to have you here to have this conversation and learn more. But first of all, just tell us what Harmony House is all about.
We're a second stage shelter for women and children fleeing abuse. We have 16 units, 11 of which are 1 bedroom, 3 are 2 bedroom, and we have 2 studio units. At the moment, with their mothers, we have about 20 kids living in the shelter, and we're concerned about the children and growing up in a shelter. It's not good for kids, which is why we need to expand. We have about 80 families on the waiting list right now, and the shelter is full, and we're bursting at the seams.
And 40 years, that's an incredible milestone to reach, which we know that the need is great here in our community.
Yes, and we're not using the word celebration, we're using the word mark, because why are we celebrating having a shelter like this, having to have the necessity of a shelter?
So tell us more about the breakfast that will be taking place.
Well, thank you so much for having us. It's a great opportunity for us to come in the community and the community to us. As Marilyn was saying, we mark and we honor. So 40 years of voices, freedom, opportunities for them to start again. So it's a critical, when we do transitional housing, we are talking about ending cycle of abuse and how everybody's like, how can I help? How can I volunteer? This is the opportunity. Come buy a ticket, be a sponsor, which bring impact, which stands with women and children that they want to start again. So this is happening in the Affinity Center, March 2nd this year. So we're kind of 1 month and something. So we invite people to join us. There is so many opportunities for sponsors to be part of this event, and for people just to come and learn more about awareness and how they can help be the part of the solution for ending cycle of abuse.
And tell us about some of the speakers that will be taking place at the breakfast as well.
Absolutely. So we have 4, it's a panel discussion. It's going to lead by Catherine Clark, and we have a few executive directors. So we have Katie Burkholder Harris, as she's the executive director for Alliance to End Homeless in Ottawa. And we have, of course, representing Women's Shelter is Anaduha Dugal, and she's the Executive Director for Women's Shelter Canada. And of course, we want to, as Marilyn was saying, children is basic for us. So we have she's the supervisor for mental health, Isabel McNider, and she's great into what trauma looks like for children and how they can bring solutions. And of course, we have a 4th speaker, which is a former resident. It will bring the living experience. So tying all women's shelter, homeless, and how we can look forward for next 40 years.
And as you mentioned, you're at capacity. There's a waiting list to be seen. Impact is great here. You need more support and more services, so you're able to provide more people help.
Yes, exactly. And so we have a specialized staff. We have a child care in house, and we have an after-school program because the children really can't bring friends back to a shelter, and they don't want to say in school, I live in a shelter. So it's very difficult for the children.
And how can the community get involved?
Yeah, so please go to our website. There is so many ways to go there and find if you want to volunteer, you want to be part of the event, how we can expand this. We're the only second stage for 40 years in Ottawa. So that means it's a longer stay. It's emergency has, of course, a lot of stress, but the crisis as well ends when there is a stability, when there is hope. And when we talk about hope and promises, what we can do for them in the next voices, hopefully not as a shelter. We serve women fleeing violence. We cannot wait for them to need a shelter, but until then, we're going to be there for Ottawa.
And what do former people who have used Harmony House say about the services that they were provided?
Well, we just finished our holiday appeal, and seeing 20 years after a testimonial of how a mom was not able to use a phone when she was trying to flee abuse. And now when he moves into a shelter, seeing her mom back to freedom means that she was connecting with her sister, with his aunt. So 20 years now, he's trying to get back to the community. He serves into one of our sector charities that help children and youth. So we see how something that started as an abuse can end up in helping the community from one of our former residents. They are thrivers for sure.
Amazing. And how can people get more information? And of course, those tickets, because they're on sale now?
They are on sale. So yes, we have the opportunity to bring your team, bring your corporate, bring your leadership to learn, be part of this. They can get a table for 10, or they can go to our website and get just a ticket for $65.
Wonderful. Well, thank you both so much for joining us today. We truly appreciate it.
Thank you.
You're welcome. We'll be back right after this. Here's a live look at our sky cam on George Street. And yes, a snowy start to your day. And we're seeing slippery driving conditions as well. So take your time on your roads this hour.
Jermaine Franklin in the SportsCenter newsroom with your must-see moment from Sunday. And for it, we head to Chicago. NFC divisional playoff Rams leading the Bears with less than 30 seconds to go, and it's fourth down. Caleb Williams fleeing the rush, unloads a shot to the end zone, and it's caught by Cole Kmet, officially a 14-yard touchdown. But Williams throws it from 40 yards. An unreal play. Unfortunately for the Bears, they do go on to lose in overtime. However, Williams and Kmet take home the must-see moment from Sunday. And tonight on TSN, we've got more football. The College Football Playoff National Championship, Miami facing Indiana. Coverage begins at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 Pacific. That's all for now from the SportsCenter newsroom. Have a great day.
And we're taking a look at the forecast one last time this morning.
Yeah, that's right. There's a risk that we could see some snow squalls today, and that's because we're going to see the snow that we're currently seeing, and then stronger winds as well, gusting out of the southwest today up to 40 kilometers an hour. So we could see there is a risk of snow squalls from noon hour until about 6 o'clock tonight. So it will definitely impact your drive home. And then areas to the south of us, Cornwall along the Seaway, they actually have a snow squall watch, and then there's a warning in place for areas in Kingston, Belleville. So just check your road conditions before you head anywhere today, as we could see slippery driving, blowing snow, of course, which we know means reduced visibility on your road. So it's mainly later on this afternoon, but already outside we saw in our traffic cams snow accumulating on the highways. So we are expecting just a little bit of snow, but it only takes a little bit to make it, a little bit slick out there.
I love in Tuesday, though. I'm seeing some sun.
Yeah,
finally.
Sun tomorrow, but cold.
But great news for the ski hills, as you saw from the ski report that you had earlier, with all the runs being updated, almost probably the most that we've ever seen. So it is great news for that. And with the colder temperatures, the canal looking good too. So some positives for the day.
We'll see you right back here tomorrow morning, 6 a.m. Take good care.